Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So as you can see from the title, today's pick a card reading is going to be a deep dive into your next serious relationship. Just before we get into it, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much to every single person who is here watching this right now. I'm just so grateful and so honored that I can share this space with you and I can read your cards and I can learn with you and connect with you. It's just really, really cool, and I'm so happy to have you here. In today's reading, I want to, if I may, connect with your higher self and the higher self of your next serious partner, and let them bring forward whatever messages they would like to share. So I hope that this can be an opportunity for you to just get cozy with your higher self and with your person's higher self and connect with them as well. There may be messages coming through from your higher selves other than what I'm saying in this reading. So just be open to receiving downloads from them. 111 as I'm saying that. Wow. Okay, so I will get a little bit more into the specifics of what we're going to look at once you choose your group. So for now, let's just get into your option selection. There are 4 groups to choose from today. For each group, we're going to be using a different tarot deck, and there's a different crystal placed on top of each to help you pick. And I'm going to show you, I think it was the Lover's card. Yes, the Lover's card from each deck, so you can get a sense for what the artwork looks like. If you feel called to, you could also scroll down to the description or the pinned comment where the timestamps are. There may be a number in a particular timestamp that is relevant to you or that is calling out to you. So when you're choosing your group, you could be drawn to the crystal, the back artwork of the decks that you see here, the front artwork, or a number that is jumping out at you. There's a few different factors to help you pick. Without further ado, let's get a close-up look at each of your options. For my group number 1s, we have Angel Aura Rose Quartz, and we're going to be using the Serpent Fire Tarot. And here is your Lover's card. For my group number 2s, we have Amblygonite, and we're going to be using the Tarot Disassembled. And here is your Lover's card. For my group number 3s, we have Zebra Calcite, and we're going to be using the New Moon Tarot. And here is your Lover's card. And for my group number 4s, we have Amblygonite, and we're going to be using the Lucid Dreams Tarot Black Eclipse Edition. And here is your Lover's card. Okay, so just in case you need a bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side. I'm just gonna try to cover, I'm just covering the glare with my hand so that you can see group number 3's card properly. Here are all of the options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s. So if you guys chose the Angel Aura Rose Quartz and the Serpent Fire Tarot, this is going to be your reading all about your next serious relationship. I want to thank you and your person and your higher selves for being here and sharing this time with me. There's a few messages I want to share before we get into the cards. The first one is that when I lit this candle, you see now it's very glowy and pretty, but when I first lit it, the flame was so small that it didn't light up like this. So I just sat and waited for it to grow bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually it started glowing. And I felt like that was symbolic and in some way maybe a message for you that the flame has already been lit and nothing needs to be done except for wait for the flame to naturally grow. I didn't have to light it again. I didn't have to add any kindling, obviously, but it's like the flame doesn't need anything else to grow. 111 as I'm saying that. It's just a matter of time for the fire to naturally spread and light everything up. So this could be with regards to your relationship with your person or a certain area of your life that you have invested in, and your spiritual team wants to confirm the flame has been lit, like it has been done. And now it is just time. That's literally it. The other thing that happened is that this part of my hand randomly started hurting quite a bit. Like the muscle felt sore. It's gone now. It was really random. It just lasted for a few seconds and went away. So I don't know if that means something to anybody. Like if maybe something you do for work or as a hobby or like something your person does makes this part of your hand hurt. I don't know. And then the other thing was a song was coming through. Now this is gonna sound a little bit douchey, but it was my own song. It's called How Could I Forget You? So that song could be of significance to you. I'll link it down below. As you may have guessed, it's about meeting someone and being unable to forget about them. From the first time you see them, you're like, oh shit, I'm never gonna be able to forget you. You are gonna be someone who changes my life. I just know it. I just have that feeling. So that might be a characteristic of your relationship with your person. It's in the key of A as well, so the third eye could be significant. That's the third eye's key. Anyway, let's get into our reading. So we have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended today. Here on YouTube, we are going to ask your partner, I'll probably call them your person's higher self, what they want to tell you about them. Anything they'd like you to know about their traits, such as their personality, their looks, their job, hobbies, their zodiac signs, whatever it might be, whatever they'd like you to know. We are going to look at your meeting with them, how it happens, when and where it happens, your first impression of them versus how you'll feel about them over time, and vice versa, their first impression of you versus how they'll feel about you over time. Then we're going to look into your relationship and see what you will do together, what you will achieve together, how you will grow together. And then we're going to finish off with a message of love, support, and encouragement from your person. So that's the reading here on YouTube. In the extended, which is going to be available on Patreon or Vimeo, so you can choose whichever one works best for you, we are going to see what your person loves the most about you. We're going to look at your physical and emotional compatibility. The physical part might get into 18 plus stuff, it might not. So I'll leave that open to your higher selves. We are going to see why your soul chose them and vice versa, why their soul chose you to have this relationship in this lifetime. We're going to see how close you are at the time that you're watching this. How close are you to manifesting this relationship, and what maybe needs to change, if anything, in order to manifest it. And then we're going to see significant time frames, signs, and synchronicities that could be, significant. That could be of importance to you pertaining to this connection. So that's going to be the full reading for today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. So we are going to ask your person's higher self to come through and ask them what they would like you to know about them. We are starting with the Alchemist, balance, invention, destruction. We have the third eye, which I have already mentioned. So third eye is definitely significant. Maybe you have a psychic connection with your person. And we have the wolf. So wolves are significant as well, because the Lover's card that you guys chose also has 2 wolves on it. Maybe you're both introverts, but you can spend unlimited time together and be very, very comfortable. That's the first vibe that I'm getting. I want to read this Alchemist card from the guidebook. So this card is associated with the element of air, which is called the Academy in this deck. representing those who flourish in acts of study and ingenuity. So we have an intellectual here. These cards represent learning, aspirations, and development. Okay, your next partner is someone who is highly intelligent, thirsty for knowledge. They could be a student, currently like going to school or taking a course or getting some kind of qualifications, or they could just enjoy being a student of life. Like they could be someone who's always reading books about different topics. They could be watching podcasts or watching documentaries, wanting to absorb as much information as possible. Okay, so let's see what the Alchemist says. It's on page 59. So the numbers 59 or 95 could be significant, or just 5 and 9. Colored liquids and strange smelling chemicals bubble from inside of glass apparatus. A creature watches you from inside of a bottle, blinking its single eye, and in the middle of the chaos sits the alchemist, surrounded by an infinity of notes. It takes genius to create, and the alchemist is the embodiment of invention. They understand the core principle of creation. Solve et coagula. Coagula. Something must be destroyed in order to create anew. That place of safety must be burned down in order to rebuild from the ashes. The alchemist is not afraid to take drastic measures in order to achieve their goals. In order to create, be it a new project, a new chapter in your life, or perhaps a new relationship, something must first be dismantled in order to make space. But in alchemy, nothing is ever truly destroyed. The new is built on the foundations of what has come before, and there are lessons to be learned from the rubble. Judging from this card with the third eye chakra, and also kind of the wolf, I definitely get a sense that this is a spiritual person and someone who is not afraid of their shadow. Something that is very much coming through is that this person is not afraid of like negativity, darkness. They're not afraid of quote unquote low vibration, low frequencies, because they recognize that the whole spectrum is valuable. All have lessons to learn and all can be used. Yes, everything is valuable. That phrase is important. Everything is valuable. It's about what I choose to do with it. It's about what I choose to make of it. This is definitely someone whose philosophy is life is what you make of it. This is probably a very powerful manifester. I would say that your next partner actively practices manifestation and really believes in this and has manifested a lot of amazing things for themselves. They are grateful for all of it. They're grateful for all of the ups and downs. And so with that in mind, I believe that this is a very committed partner who recognizes the reality of a long-term relationship is going to be like, we're going to have highs and lows and I'm ready for it. And we're going to face it together. I get a strong sense of commitment and loyalty from this person, and I'm hearing unwavering support for you and your goals. I'm hearing they believe in you because they believe in the universe, and they believe in your ability to harness the power of the universe. Ooh, I'm like getting chills. I feel like you and this person are going to be, if you're not already, very powerful manifestors together. This is giving magician vibes. Totally. Wolf, I was definitely thinking about the lone wolf. I do get the sense that this is an introverted person. This is someone who's very comfortable with solitude. I'm also hearing they're comfortable in silence and in stillness. They're very comfortable being alone with their own thoughts. This is giving hermit vibes as well. They don't need much externally to be happy because they're very happy internally. They're very happy within themselves. And for this person to let you into their world and into, I'm hearing their inner paradise, it's a privilege that not many get, okay? So this person is very loyal and committed, but they're also very selective. This is probably going to be someone who it takes time for them to open up. I'm also hearing that they're mysterious, but they're not intimidating, whatever that means. Like they could be someone who's hard to read at first. They don't give everything away about themselves right away, but they're always warm and friendly and approachable. It just takes some time for them to reveal their depths, but you will probably get a sense from very early on, like, oh, this is someone who has a lot of depth. This is someone who is very, I don't know if in control of themselves is the right way to say it, because I don't mean they're like exercising self-control and self-restraint necessarily, but like they have a command over themselves and over their reality. There's a crow cawing outside as I say that, so I feel like that's a confirmation. They could, I'm hearing they naturally end up in a leadership role, whether that's what they were going for or not. So let's say that they entered into a company and technically on paper, their position is not to be the leader, but it just kind of ends up happening that way. They just end up leading the meeting. They just end up managing the project because they're just naturally competent and people just naturally start looking to them for answers and looking to them for cues. If your person works in a company, I kind of get the sense that they are more intelligent or more qualified than some of the people who on paper have higher positions than them. I get the sense that this is a person who's always been like their brain just processes very quickly. So maybe they learn quickly, they have a really good memory. They could have even skipped a grade, or just maybe this is someone who was quite bored in school because it was just the pace was too slow. And their brain is just so ravenous for knowledge, for more knowledge and for more challenges. I'm also seeing the King of Swords in my mind's eye. So if you do your own readings or if you're watching other readings, that card coming out might be a sign of their energy. But here we have air and we have earth. I am also getting Scorpio vibes, because there's this mysterious energy, there's the alchemist energy. That would be crazy if, like, for some of you, their big three is an earth sign, an air sign, and Scorpio. But yeah, those are coming through. Do I want to roll dice? I feel like we don't need them. Yeah. If I feel like I need to clarify something at some point in the reading, I might roll dice, but also, I have a keychain. The thing that just made noise is a keychain, and it's shaped like a chili pepper. So I don't know, maybe that's like a message about your relationship being spicy. Or maybe they like spicy food, or maybe they like the red hot chili peppers. I don't know. But oh, these are the cards I want to use. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place. In terms of their appearance, the main thing coming through is something about their gaze. Like, they have a very intense gaze. They have that kind of eyes that can see into your soul. I feel like they dress a bit more simply. They don't appear in a way that commands attention. It's not like they're wearing things that are super noticeable, or they look a way that is super noticeable. It's more their aura and their energy that commands attention. And I feel like they're very strong. They could have a lot of physical strength. This person could like to cover up or wear baggy clothes or oversized clothes, or just wear more simple colors. It seems like they don't dress too flashy. They could have tattoos, and that could be something that is unique or noticeable about them. They could be born in year of the dog because of these wolves, or they could have a pet dog. I am also thinking of the rooster, just because there's a feather here. That's maybe a reach, but like year of the rooster, year of the dog, and those are actually in order. the rooster, and then dog comes after it. Wolf could be even like part of someone's name. Actually, okay, I just wrote down all of the first letters of the words on the oracle cards. So these could be letters in your person's name. I'll just leave them here. This is just for confirmation, by the way. Like if you have someone in mind and they don't have these letters, that's okay. Okay, you know what? I actually do want to use the dice. This is group number 1, so we're figuring things out right now. So I'm gonna get a planet, a number, and a sign. And we're gonna see what we can learn about your meeting. We have Mars in Sagittarius in the 6th house. Okay, you are going to meet when you are trying to add something to your routine or do something differently in your routine. You could be trying to start a new habit that is a little bit out of your comfort zone, that seems a bit ambitious for you. There's this sort of excited but apprehensive feeling of like, I don't know if this is gonna turn out well. I don't know if I'm gonna stick to this. I don't know if I'm gonna follow through with this in the long term, but I'm excited for it and I wanna give it a try. And I feel like in some way, this is something that is for the betterment of your health, like to improve your physical health or to improve your mental health or maybe to improve your spiritual health. And you're like, yeah, there's this feeling of apprehension. And maybe it's like, I don't even know why specifically I'm feeling called to do this at this time. It could be something that you dive into a bit impulsively, but something deep in your soul is like, let's just see how this goes. Let's just try it. And I feel like it's this intentional decision that you're making because you want to feel better and you want to see some kind of change in your life. So this meeting is not going to happen when you're just maintaining the status quo of your life. It's gonna happen when you're like, I'm bored or I'm fed up, like I want change, I want growth, and I'm gonna do something about it. And you're feeling called to just start something new, to challenge yourself, to go out of your comfort zone. I'm sort of getting the feeling that you're going to be meeting in a public place rather than online, for example. And there will probably be many other people present when you meet, although you may not necessarily be talking to a lot of people. Your first interaction with them could be quite brief, or it could literally just be eye contact. It could literally be like seeing each other from across the room. But because of these new changes that you're making in your life, you are going to start to see them regularly. And there's this feeling of anticipation bubbling up. It's like this new place that you frequent regularly. And every time you go, you're like, are they gonna be there? Are they not gonna be there? And like sometimes they aren't, but sometimes they are. And when they are there, it's like exciting. And yeah, there's this feeling of your initial reactions being kind of brief, maybe feels a little bit awkward. I'm hearing also you're looking for a reason to talk to them. So talking to them might not be something that just happens naturally. It's like you would have to approach them. This is just one example to illustrate the energy because this could happen in many different situations, but it would be like if there's this person at the gym or like this person at your fitness class and like it's not expected that you're going to be talking to each other, but it could happen. So you have to kind of think of reasons to like walk by them or think of reasons to approach them or think of things to say to them. And yeah, it's honestly quite sweet, this feeling of on the days that you go and they're also there, like you get excited, and then when they're not there, you're like trying not to be disappointed, but deep down you are a little bit like you were hoping to see them. So I get the sense that, yeah, your interactions start small and then they'll grow a little bit more. But something else I'm hearing is you would have to do something bold to move your interactions to the next level. You might have to just go out on a limb and ask for their contact information or ask if they want to hang out afterwards, you know? If you're just kind of in a passive energy hoping something will happen, the environment and the circumstances are not necessarily built for you to be engaging with each other. Like, you'll have to intervene. You'll have to make some kind of move, if that makes sense. So let's see. How about we start with you? What will be your first impression of your person? We have the Eight of Pentacles, that they're hardworking, that they're dedicated, that they're focused. Yes, I keep getting the sense of like, you're trying to get their attention. There's eye contact going on, and there's like, oh my gosh, were they just looking at me? Should I talk to them? There's this kind of vibe going on. But you feel at first like they're not really paying attention to you because they're so focused on what they're doing. I'm just going to use the gym example again. Obviously, that's not going to be how all of you meet, but it's like if you were hoping that they're kind of glancing your way, hoping that you'll have more eye contact, but they're just like so focused on pumping iron. They're so focused on checking their form in the mirror that they're like, at least in your perspective, you might feel they're not paying attention to you that much because they're so focused on something that they're doing. But I feel like you kind of like that because it shows how dedicated they are. It shows how hardworking they are. I just heard it shows how professional they are, but I don't feel like that's for all of you. It could depend. Like if it's their place of work, then maybe it shows how professional they are. I feel like you and your person share a niche interest. That's just a personal interpretation that I sometimes get with the Eight of Pentacles. Maybe the place that you meet them has to do with your shared niche interest, or it could be something that you notice about them when you get to talking. It could even be something on their person, I'm hearing, that lets you know you have a shared niche interest. For example, it could be something, I want to say hanging off their backpack. Like maybe they have like something sewed onto their bag, or they have a keychain, or they have even a tattoo of something, or you see like a book that they have. Something, one of their belongings or something on their person. It could be like an accessory that they're wearing that lets you know of a shared interest you have that is kind of obscure, or like it's not a lot of people who are super nerds about it, but you both are. That's kind of the vibe. So you get the sense of like, I want to approach them. I feel like we'd have so much in common, but I don't know if they're noticing me. How are you going to feel about them over time? We have the Ten of Swords. Interesting. You are going to feel like, wow. Oh, okay. This could actually be both of your energies. I was gonna say that over time, you're gonna think, wow, I was really overthinking. But you could also realize that they were overthinking too. Oh, this is kind of sweet because you're both checking each other out and you both want each other to pay more attention to you and like hoping that the other will look your way, hoping that you'll get like eye contact or get a chance to talk to each other. And so I feel like there's going to be some kind of confession after you get together of like, oh my gosh, I was always checking you out. I was always thinking of excuses to talk to you. And I was overthinking like, okay, we've been maintaining eye contact for 3 seconds, so I'm going to look away now. Or like, I'm going to focus on this other thing for a while so that I don't appear desperate or so that I don't look like I'm staring at them. And then I'll just kind of glance in their direction. Like very calculated or overthinking like that. And then you realize that they were doing the same thing. So you're both really checking each other out, and you're both thinking that the other doesn't notice or the other isn't really paying that much attention. But alas, you are both overthinkers. Yeah. You may have a bit of a transition in the way you view their work ethic over the course of the relationship. I feel like at first you're like, wow, so cool, so impressive, you're so hardworking. And then over time you're like, but you don't have to. You start to worry more about their well-being. So maybe you could notice a bit of a pushing themselves too hard kind of tendency from your person, or a perfectionist or a workaholic kind of tendency from them the more time you spend with them. And the very thing they're so good at, or the very thing they work so hard at, that I think initially made you admire them, you're like, it's not that you don't care about it anymore, but you're like, I just don't want you to push yourself too hard. I just don't want you to force yourself. If you want to take a break, that's okay. You start to feel you're going from like an admirer to more of a nurturer towards them, if that makes sense. We have, actually both of these are sun cards, the sun in Virgo and the sun in Gemini. So they could have, obviously they can't have both, but they could have one of those. And both of those are associated with the Magician. So they definitely have Magician energy. And this is someone who's not afraid to reinvent themselves, and probably have done so many times. Okay, what is their first impression of you? We have the 5 of Pentacles. And how is that going to change over time? The 10 of Cups. Wow. Okay, at first, they're feeling pessimistic or feeling like it's not going to happen. At first, they feel like this connection is not going to materialize. And then over time, they realize that it was always meant to. Okay. This is someone who can manifest very powerfully when it comes to like their own personal goals, their own career goals, perhaps creative goals or academic goals. When it comes to love and matters of the heart, I do sense a little bit of resistance, okay? I feel like they have this impression that it's not gonna happen because of their own resistance. And it comes from a place of not wanting to get too attached. That's how it's coming through. They don't want to go out on a limb and set the intention to the universe to be with you. Because for some reason, when it comes to matters of the heart, like, it hurts more if they get their hopes up and it doesn't pan out. There's a feeling with both of you that everything is intentional. So, like, if you notice, sometimes they're really, like, talking to you a lot, paying a lot of attention to you, and then they pull away. That's always intentional. Like, they're making some intentional decision to pull away in that moment because, like, they're afraid of getting too attached, or they're afraid of getting too hopeful. There's a feeling on their end of the way they are expressing themselves is like, oh, I just want to be open and whatever happens, happens. And like, if it happens, that's good. If it doesn't happen, that's also good. But it feels like a forced detachment, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel like a real and organic detachment. It feels like someone who's trying to be perceived as this, like, I've surrendered and like, However this happens is fine. But below that is a fear of, I don't want to get attached and then be heartbroken when this doesn't work out, which is kind of a lot for a first impression. So I think your person's having a bit of love at first sight. I just wanted to say in it for some reason. Is someone British? I don't know. Like, love at first sight, in it. I don't know why I wanted to say that. They're having a bit of love at first sight and they're kind of freaking out, even from the first time they see you. I think that this 10 of Cups represents a moment where they get out of their own way. Where they get out of their own way and let things grow naturally between the two of you. And that's probably what that flame was referring to. You don't have to do anything. Just let it grow naturally. And you don't have to be afraid. After some time, their feelings for you is like, you make me the happiest I've ever been. And you're everything that I could have ever dreamed of. Like, you are it. You are the one. You are my happily ever after. You are my everything. You are my person. Like, you are my person. And they will probably look back and say, like, I was being foolish to doubt that or to be afraid of that at first. I mean, with a love so big, it can be quite overwhelming. Yeah. Okay. We are going to get into the deck that you chose. We are going to see what you and your person will do together. Oh my gosh. It's the Lovers. Okay, you definitely have a psychic connection. This is Gemini energy again, which we had mentioned before. Honestly, I think a lot of the time you are chatterboxes when you are together. As individuals, you could be quiet people, but I feel like whenever you get together, you just like talk and talk and talk. And I honestly think that you need to meet in a separate location from wherever you're meeting. It is not, I mean, the environment is important because Spirit orchestrated this so you could meet, but in order to get to know each other on a deeper level, you got to take it somewhere else. You got to take it outside. You got to invite each other to go somewhere else, because it's so weird. It's like, yes, this environment was good for you to meet, but it's not good for your love to flourish and grow and to get to know each other. You're going to have to start hanging out somewhere else. And once you do that, it's like the air is so much lighter. The energy is so much lighter. You can be a bit more lighthearted with each other. You can be more yourself, and you will realize that the two of you are actually quite chatty together. This gives the feeling of a first date that goes very, very long because you just cannot stop yapping. So you like talking together. You could enjoy like singing together. I don't know, something about the wolves howling at the moon. It made me think of singing. I like that there's like the white and black wolf because it feels like yin and yang. So you obviously complement each other very well. I think that both of you are spiritual, and you probably have a really good time talking about your spiritual insights and what your spiritual journey has been like. I'm hearing sharing notes. So maybe you guys like journal or take notes about spiritual concepts or like downloads you receive, and then you kind of compare. I think you could enjoy talking about your dreams, whether that's like your goals in this life or literally talking about the dreams that you had and analyzing them together. You talk about manifestation, what you're manifesting. Your relationship is a safe place to do that. It's a safe place to manifest together. I think you talk a lot about other people too. Not in a gossiping way, but talking about people that you both look up to, that you both take inspiration from. I heard the word iconic. So I feel like whoever you think is iconic, like your person also thinks is iconic. You may have the same idols, or you may have the same people that you really respect. You also give me the vibe of a couple who would watch a movie and then like turn off the TV and then sit there for like an hour and talk about the movie and be like, what are your theories? What did you think about the choice of setting? What did you think about the costumes? What do you think about this person's acting? Like that's the kind of vibe. I feel like you, I want to say interview each other, which is not the right word, but really like to pick each other's brain and like, what's your take on this? Like, what's your opinion? You could even talk about world events together. Yeah, you like to talk about other people, not because you like to gossip, but because other people are interesting and because other people give us insights about ourselves and our own lives. You guys are both very thoughtful listeners and very thoughtful, like, consumers of art or consumers of media. You're not just like passively taking it in. Yeah, you're both very insightful and intelligent. I think you both also get a lot of joy from introducing your loved ones to each other. Like, I think it just makes you so happy to see them hanging out and getting along with your friends and vice versa. I think you really love spending time alone, but you may also enjoy spending time like in your friend groups and maybe even kind of blending your friend group. I just had the sensation of like a dog licking my face. So they probably have a dog, or maybe you have a dog, or you'll get one together. What will you achieve together? Temperance. Oh my gosh, it's the wolves again. This time you can really see the yin and yang of it all, like the yang wolf with the yin wings and the yin wolf with the yang wings. Yeah, oh, this is the lovers and temperance. This is giving divine counterparts. So sweet. It's interesting that you're both standing on separate towers. So it gives me the sense that you may not have like a joint thing that you achieve together so much as you both have your own visions as individuals of like what you want to achieve in this lifetime, and you're a very good source of support for each other. Something that's coming through is like you're a very good influence on each other to stay healthy. So you could encourage each other to take care of yourselves, take care of your mental health. You could encourage each other to keep going with your healthy habits, maybe like physical health as well. Maybe you really encourage each other to eat well and exercise, and don't forget to go to your appointment. Don't forget to schedule a checkup. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Did you eat today? Did you drink enough water? How did you sleep? Like, there's really this energy of checking in on each other and genuinely wanting to know about each other's day and life. And I feel like you both very much do have your own things going on in your own lives. And your aspirations may not always like overlap such that you're working together, but you're both very successful in your own lanes and very supportive of each other. And you'll probably become very, very knowledgeable about the other person's like job or whatever they're working on. Even if their job is like completely unrelated to yours, you will likely become very interested in it and learn a lot about it. So like, I don't know, if they're in the medical field, you'll become really, really knowledgeable about medicine, even if that's not your thing. And you're interested in it because like, that's what my baby does. And the more I know about it, the more I'll like understand when they tell me stories. You're such good listeners, both of you. I feel like when someone's telling you a story, they'll feel so validated by you because you're just like reacting at all the right moments. Like, and then what happened? No way. Like I feel like you get really invested when you're listening to a story with each other, but also in general. And you're both very good. Like you have a gift of making people feel heard and making people feel like intelligent and like they have something of value to say. That's something really beautiful about both of you. Speaking of yin and yang, I just noticed that we have Gemini and Sag here, which are sister signs. You and this person could be sister signs, or like, for example, your moon signs are sister signs. Your rising signs are sister signs. Yeah, you really are a good influence on each other to stay healthy and also to stay disciplined. You definitely keep each other on track, and there's a good balance between like, I am gonna push you to stay on track to your goals and maintain your habits, but I'm also going to encourage you to take a break when you need to and take care of yourself. And I think you know each other very, very well. So instinctively, like on a deep instinctual level, you know, like, oh, my person needs a bit of a push right now. My person could do a bit more. My person can go the extra mile. And then other times like, oh, okay, my person needs to take a break. Like this is not a time to push them. You're very good at instinctually knowing what the other needs. Like, do I need to be pushed right now, or do I need to be reassured that it's okay to slow down? What will you... Oh, the next one is how will you grow together? How will you grow together? The Nine of Pentacles. Okay, career success. You are both going to be very successful in your careers. You are both going to be wealthy. You are both going to be very admired and celebrated in your communities. Somehow I feel like you could be in different fields, but somehow you're in the same community, if that makes sense. Let me know if you know how that makes sense. We have Virgo energy again. Gemini, Sag, and Virgo are coming out a lot. Even here we had Sag, and then we had like the 6th house, which corresponds to Virgo. Yeah, you're both going to be very successful in your careers. And I think a lot of it has to do with recognizing that you're good enough and that you are enough. One or both of you could be self-employed. If that's something that you want, please take this as confirmation. You certainly don't have to be. But I think that after entering into this relationship, you're both going to reach unprecedented heights in your career. And it's directly linked to the confidence and like sense of self-worth that you help instill in each other. I think one key feature of your relationship is that you're good at gently and lovingly like calling each other out, especially when you see the other person making themselves smaller. Is selling themselves short? Is that the expression? Underselling themselves? Undervaluing their work or their skill level. When you see each other doing that, you are very good at lovingly calling each other out. Like, why aren't you, rather than being like, oh, like, why aren't you working harder? It's like, okay, like, I noticed that you have this dream and I feel like you're not giving it the energy that it deserves. What do you think's going on? Like, is there something holding you back? It feels very loving and supportive. And I think there's going to be a lot of heart-to-hearts between the two of you where you come to these realizations about the ways in which you may have been, kind of playing it safe or dreaming a bit small because of self-doubt or just not feeling worthy or feeling ready of certain things. And you help each other realize like you are good enough and you are ready. Why don't you go after that opportunity? Why don't you promote your work more? Why don't you include that in your resume? I feel like that's worth mentioning. That is very impressive, you know? Like, you hype each other up like this, but in a very practical way. Like, you're just stating the facts of what you can do, of what you've accomplished, of what makes you unique and special and impressive. You're just stating the facts to each other. You're just reminding each other of your amazingness. And you really nurture each other's sense of self-worth. And yeah, because of that, I think you're both going to reach unprecedented heights and unprecedented levels of wealth in your respective careers, which is beautiful. I think you cultivate a beautiful balance in life together. I think you're both very ambitious people, but it's important to you that you don't make your job everything, that you don't make it your whole schedule or make it your whole identity. Okay, the last thing is a message of love, support, and encouragement from your person, and 3 cards came out at the same time. So we have the 9 of Wands, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Swords. Okay, this is totally, they're telling you to keep going and don't give up with something. 9 of Wands is like, you're almost there. You're closer than you think. Just keep going. I just heard the final countdown. It's like, this is the final home stretch. This is the final push until you reach your goal. 4 of Pentacles, stay firm, stay perseverant. She has a bow and arrow, which is very Sagittarian if you ask me. This is not a Sagittarian card. This one is. But this one has a bow and arrow, which feels very Saggy. Sag energy is super strong in this reading. Yeah, keep going, persevere. You're very close to reaching your goal. And then we have the 9 of Swords. There's a feeling of you are not accurately seeing how close you are to your goal, or you are not accurately seeing how close you already are to your ideal version of you. In fact, you could very well already be that person. And the only missing ingredient is self-belief. They are kind of highlighting that you have this part of your mind that plays tricks on you, or that doesn't let you see yourself accurately. As a visual representation, I'm seeing someone looking in the mirror and they see the reflection staring back at them as so flawed, but those flaws do not exist. You are also overestimating the distance between you and what you want to attain, or like the current you and the you want to be. You may think there's a big gap, but your person's higher self is saying, you're so close. Look at how close they're so close to booping noses. You're way, way closer to your goal than you think. Like, just I know it may be annoying to hear, like, just keep going, but just a little bit longer, just one more. I'm hearing one more. Maybe it's like one more try, one more chance, one more push, one more, I don't know, like one more month, one more year of something. You're very, very close. And don't listen to what your mind tells you. It doesn't know what it's talking about. Your soul knows what they are talking about. This flower has the same spots as the cheetah, so like cheetah print, leopard print, that could be significant. But yeah, this is definitely a message from your person's higher self of like, keep going, don't give up. I swear, like you may be tired of hearing this, but you're so close. You're so close, like just a little bit more. It's like if someone was running a marathon and they can't see how far they've already traveled, and they're like, no, I'm too tired, I have to stop now, only to find out they were like 1 kilometer away from completing. They're like, don't stop now. Like, don't stop. You're so close. That's the vibe. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna get into the extended now, where we are going to see what they love most about you, your physical and emotional compatibility, which could include 18 plus themes, why your soul chose them in this lifetime and why their soul chose you in this lifetime. How close are you to manifesting this relationship? What needs to change, if anything? And then finally, significant timeframes, signs, and synchronicities pertaining to this connection. If that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, it's going to be on Patreon or Vimeo, whichever one works for you. I will have both linked down below, and I will meet you wherever you would like to meet me. If you want to leave the reading here, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch extendeds, you can watch full-length exclusive pick a card readings. You can watch both. It's a great time over there. I'll have it linked down below. And my music channel, which includes How Could I Forget You? Your song, group number 1. And it also includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. I will have a lot of KINO I songs linked for you, group number 1. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support, for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate you, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 2s. So if you guys chose the Amblygonite and the Tarot Disassembled, this is going to be a reading all about your next serious relationship. There's a couple of intuitive messages coming through, and I have to turn on the AC. Okay, there's a couple of intuitive messages coming through before we get into the cards, so I just wanted to go ahead and share those. The first one was a visual that I had kind of from your point of view, and you're standing in an elevator and you push the button that says PH. So you're going up to the penthouse. And it seemed like a kind of older building, but it was very nice. And so you or your next serious partner could be living in a penthouse or staying in a penthouse. There was the feeling of it being kind of a luxury apartment building or condo. And there's like a pool and a gym, all the amenities, and you or them, or maybe you're living there together in the penthouse. This could also be kind of symbolic of you ascending to the highest level of something, working your way up to the top in a certain area of your life. So I definitely wanted to share that with you. It seemed very auspicious. And then the other thing that came through, which seemed a bit random, was food allergies or food sensitivities. So that could just be one of the traits of your next partner, or that could be your energy, and that's like a confirmation that this is your group. But yeah, there was a feeling of some sort of dietary restriction going on. So, did the AC turn on? Okay, now it's turning on. All right, let's take a look at the full breakdown of today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. On YouTube, we're gonna see what your person's higher self, so when I say your person, of course, this is your next serious partner, what your person's higher self wants to tell you about them. So basic traits like their personality, their looks, their job, their hobbies, their zodiac signs, just anything they want to share with you. I will leave it open to them. We are going to look into some details of your meeting, how, when, and where it's going to happen. We're going to see your first impression of them versus how you'll feel about them over time, their first impression of you versus how they'll feel about you over time, And then we're gonna look into your relationship and see what you'll do together, what you'll achieve together, how you'll grow together. And then we're gonna finish off with a message of love and support and encouragement from your partner. Then in the extended reading, this is gonna be available on Patreon or Vimeo, so whichever one works best for you. They will both be linked down below. We are gonna see what your person loves most about you. We're gonna look at your physical and emotional compatibility. And with the physical part, we may go into 18 plus themes, we may not. I'm gonna leave that open to your higher selves. And we're gonna see why your soul chose them in this lifetime and vice versa, why their soul chose you in this lifetime. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. How close are you to manifesting this relationship at the time that you are watching this? How close are you to manifesting, and what needs to change, if anything, in order to manifest this relationship? And then we're gonna finish off with significant time frames, signs, and synchronicities pertaining to the connection. So that's gonna be our full reading today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. So we're gonna ask your person's higher self to come through and share any details about them that they would like you to know. First, we have the catalyst, radical changes and taking control. Okay, already there's a feeling that you meeting this person is gonna be a huge catalyst in your life. It's gonna be a huge motivation to finally go after your goals. It's interesting that I wanted to say finally. So my group number twos, there could be a particular area of your life or a particular goal that you've kind of had on the back burner, and meeting this person is the catalyst to take it off the back burner and make it your priority and go for it. And I also think that your next partner lives by this as well. So they're very like go-getter. When they want something, they do it. They just go for it. And that's probably going to be present in the dynamics between you as well. Like, they're interested in you, they're gonna make it known. I feel like, I wanna say the word frank, like this person is very frank. Or I don't know, maybe frank is like in their name somehow. But they're very honest when it comes to their emotions. If they like you, they're gonna tell you. If they don't like you, they're gonna distance themselves from you. They're kind of an open book. They may not share everything about themselves, but they certainly don't lie or mislead or play games. Like, they're just gonna be very upfront with you about how they feel. So I think they're probably gonna be the one to approach you, just judging from their personality, or maybe you both approach each other at the same time. I just heard they're very good at making business deals, so maybe that's something about their job, because they're just very personable and people want to do business with them because their personality is just so great and people will easily like your person. But yeah, I feel like that was kind of a tangent, but they're gonna approach you in a very straightforward way and make it known to you. And receiving compliments from this person feels so good because they're just the type of person who always means what they say. So if they're praising you or complimenting you, you know it's because they genuinely feel that way and they're not just saying it to flatter you. So this person is very friendly and kind without ever being insincere. Like, they just have so much goodness and kindness in their heart, and whatever they're expressing, they genuinely mean it. That's beautiful. We also have faith, hope, support, miracles, and spirituality. So this could be a spiritual person. I do think they believe in miracles or believe in a higher power. They will likely feel some sort of element of fate in the two of you coming together. Like, it was fate that we met on that day. It was fate that you were there on that day and I happened to run into you, this kind of vibe. And we also have lion. That makes a lot of sense. They're totally giving go-getter energy. They have a bit of alpha energy to them. I do feel like they can how do I say this? I wanted to say they can dominate a conversation, but I realized that sounds like them hogging all of the space in the conversation, and like they have to get the last word in and they have to be right. And it's not like that. I think they're very good at keeping the conversation flowing and steering the conversation. And for that reason, I feel like they could be good at business negotiations, or like good at sales, good at persuading people. But again, it's not that they're being insincere. I think they kind of command attention. They light up the room when they walk in. It's giving me personally Knight of Wands kind of energy. With the Lion here, Leo energy could be significant. I think this person is very hardworking, but the way it's coming through is it's not because they feel like they need to prove themselves or prove how good they are. They work hard because they care about people. They care about their team, or they care about the people they're serving. That is what motivates them to work. This person likes providing people with what they need, or providing them with the experiences that they want, providing them with a good time and providing them with happiness. And I think, this is really just someone who wants to brighten people's day. And I think they're truly thinking about that with every interaction they have. Like, how can I brighten this person's day? How can I make it so that this person walks away from this interaction with me feeling a little bit better about themselves, or about the future, or about life? I just want to brighten people's day. They really are like this ray of sunshine. Beautiful, beautiful energy. I want to read the catalyst from the guidebook. Oh, by the way, there's a lot of fire here because this card is a fire card. The Lion is a fire card. And so in this book, cards in this suit represent achievement and completion, yet also unbreakable bonds and a sense of ultimate responsibility. So they are the catalyst, which is on page 28. So the number 28 or 82, or the numbers just 2 and 8 could be significant to you. Artifacts lay scattered across a table. A diviner might be able to decipher their meaning, but to the catalyst, they are just a frustrating jumble of clutter. Wherever they go, they seem to be the inciter of change, whether they intend to or not. They have toppled empires and ended the reigns of kings. And though something has always grown from the rubble, they're always left wondering what calamity comes next. Life does not exist in a state of stasis, and meaningful development only comes with change. To resist it is to resist growth. You must become the catalyst that shakes the very foundations of life. You are the hurricane that blows the cobwebs from the corners. You are the bolt of lightning that topples the tower. You may not know what form this change will take, but change has to happen. Through upheaval, chaos, and destruction, you will be able to start anew. What I think about when I read this passage is that visual of you rising to the top in some area, in some endeavor. And you are so close to this future, but you must be willing to make a change in your life. And I feel like somehow this partner is going to be a big catalyst in maybe helping you realize what you need to change, or giving you the courage you need to make the change, or believing in yourself, believing that it's possible. I think you're going to meet this person at the precipice of a big and exciting change in your life. And if you already know who this person is, and like you've just met them, or they're in your life, I think that's a sign that your life is about to change in a major way. This person could, because we said there's a lot of fire, they could be a fire sign, especially Leo, because we have a Lion here, but Aries and Sagittarius are the other fire signs. They could have a double fire in their big three. So for example, both their sun and moon are fire signs, or like both their rising and moon are fire signs. Something like that. So, I did this for group number 1 as well. Letters that could be in their name. Oh, I feel like I didn't do this for group 1, but maybe they didn't need those letters. I just took the first letter of each word from the oracle cards. So these could be letters in their name or just otherwise significant. In terms of their appearance, the lion is all about the mane. So this person could have very luscious hair, whether that means like it's long, or maybe it's very soft, or maybe it is just shiny and thick and luscious. Maybe they just always have a good hair day. I feel like this person looks very good with minimal styling. Their routine is very minimal. They don't do too much for hair care. They don't do too much for skin care. Like, they keep it simple and they just always look so good. Something else that is standing out to me is this lion has a very straight nose bridge. I don't know. There could be something about them having a straight nose. They could have nice hands, or they could have they could wear rings, and so your attention kind of goes to their hands. They could have their nails painted. They could have like tattoos on their hands. Obviously, that's not going to be everybody, but I'm just mentioning things that could draw attention to their hands. They could, because there was a message about them being very persuasive and being a good conversationalist and being good at negotiating. Maybe they're very good at gesturing. Like, they really do a lot of nonverbal communication to convey their message. For some of you, they could have a job or a hobby where they're using their hands a lot. And what else? I feel like they're either very fast or agile or very fit. They could be muscular. They could just be built well. I don't know. There's a feeling of them being fit. And is there anything else? The lion's mane and the bees, it's making me think fluffy. I feel like they have soft hair. They could have soft features as well. Now, let's get into your meeting. So I'm going to take a number die, a planet, and a sign. And we're going to see what details we can reveal. Oh, also the number 48 or 84 could be significant. I feel like I said 82 before as well. 82, 83, 84. Those could be like years. Obviously, things like the numbers and letters, they won't be for everybody, but they could be extra confirmation for someone. So that's why I mentioned them. A cat could be significant as well, because like lion is a cat, and then like the cat list made me think of a cat. Maybe bad puns or play on words is another characteristic of your person. But we have Saturn in Sagittarius in the 10th house. So yeah, there's a level up happening for you. Group number 2. Like, if there was an astrological association of going up to the penthouse, I feel like it would be this. Because first of all, the 10th house is at the very top of the zodiac wheel. Sagittarius is ambitious and expansive, and I often get a feeling of being hungry for more and more, wanting to strive for more and more with this energy. And then Saturn is responsibility, discipline. Saturn in the 10th house, that feels very career oriented, like disciplining yourself so that you can reach your big career goals. So the circumstances of your meeting, it's somehow related to big goals that you have in your career. Some of you could be on a trip. You could be on a business trip, or you've traveled to attend something that will further your career, whether that's a networking event or like a workshop, a seminar, a conference, an expo. I don't even really know what that means. Exposition? I don't know. attending some event that would further your career. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to meet them at this event, but you striving to attend this will somehow lead to your meeting. Somehow I feel like a luxury condo or a luxury hotel is significant, because I was thinking back to that visual I got of like, you know, there's a tall building with a penthouse and like a pool and a gym. And sometimes conferences will be held at hotels. Like they'll have a big conference room or like a big room that you can rent out for events. So some of you could be attending something like that. Somehow I feel like you're on a trip or they're on a trip. Could be their energy too. Like they could be on a trip to further their career. And somehow that leads to you meeting. And it could be that you're at the same event, but it could just be that, like, for example, let's say you go to another city to attend this conference, and then one day after the conference, you're like, let's go out for dinner, let's go out for drinks. And then maybe you meet them when you're out there, but you wouldn't have met them unless you were in this city for the conference, if that makes sense. Maybe you meet them on the plane or in the airport. But it's like, if you weren't going to this place, if you weren't taking this trip, you wouldn't have met them. I'm sure the universe would have found another way, but if any of you are moving in order to increase your opportunities, like moving somewhere that has better academic or professional or creative opportunities for you, or moving with the main purpose of growth, personal growth, career growth, any moves or travel that you're making for that reason will likely lead to you meeting this person. But somehow I feel like whatever you're bonding over doesn't have much to do with this. Okay. And by the way, these could also be significant placements, like Saturn in the 10th house, Saturn in Sag, a Sagittarius midheaven, which would be a Pisces rising, probably, at least in whole house, whole sign astrology. Anyway, is there anything else before we get into the tarot? Let's see your first impression of them. I also have this vibe of you experiencing something together, and one of you is super blown away and the other one is like, just another Tuesday. So maybe one of you is inviting the other into your world, showing them something that's very commonplace for you, but they're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I don't know why this is the example that's coming to my mind, but just to paint the picture, okay? I had this image of someone who works at an aquarium and they can like be in the aquarium after hours. And so this sounds like it's out of a cheesy rom-com. Like, hey, you want to come to the aquarium? But isn't it closed? I have the master key. And then you go into the aquarium and it's like, you get to see all the creatures when nobody's there. And one of you is like, oh my God, this is so cool. Look at that, look at that. And the other one's like, yup, this is just every day for me. I don't know, something like that is happening. Maybe on one of your first dates or like one of the first times you hang out. A new and exciting world to one of you. Very common for the other. It could even be like if you live in different places or if there's like a cultural difference. Because there was some kind of travel or relocation involved. So I could see a situation where one of you is a local and one of you is not. And so while one person is like amazed, maybe experiencing culture shock or like, wow, I've never seen this before. The other one's like, yep, that's pretty normal here. You see that all the time. I remember I was like a host family for a Japanese exchange student a long, long time ago. And she was like, oh my God, it's a squirrel. And meanwhile, I'm like, in Canada, we see the squirrels all the time, but you don't really see them here. So it could be, I mean, it could be something as simple as that. Maybe my aquarium example was a bit dramatic, but I felt like making it rom-com-y, I guess. Rom-coms could be significant. Maybe you watch one together, or maybe the way your story unfolds really reminds you of one. I feel like the career-driven person who falls in love and then their love interest is their catalyst. That feels very rom-com-y. Okay. What is your first impression of them? Your first impression of them might be that they're not genuine. Just because they're so cheerful and friendly, and sometimes it's hard to believe that someone could just be such a ray of sunshine. I want to say golden retriever. Sometimes it's hard to believe that people can just be that pure-hearted and kind and like genuinely mean it. So you might have your guard up a little bit at first, like, oh, this person's just flattering me, or they're just trying to make me like them. They don't really mean it. But you'll realize once you get to know them that it's genuine. There's a feeling that you've maybe heard your person's name before you meet them. So that could be because you have mutual friends or mutual acquaintances, and so you've like heard stories about them. Or they could be a notable person. The Saturn 10th house vibe here was sort of giving me the feeling of a notable person. But your first impression of them is, I think, mainly about their accomplishments and what they do. Like, that's the first things you learn about them. And yeah, there's just something about them having a very sunny and cheery nature, and you thinking it's an act. You maybe even thinking like it's just part of their brand or something, but that's actually who they are. I also think they are very, like, there's something about them being in very good shape, having a nice physique. And you can tell even if they were fully clothed. Maybe you can just like see the muscles popping from under the clothes, or the way the clothes fit. You're like, oh, somebody works out. You can tell. I feel like they have good posture too. They really convey confidence, you know, with their gestures, with their posture. They have a clear voice. Maybe they talk a little bit loud. Maybe they have like a big laugh. Whoop. So, yeah, after some time passes, I think I'm taking this quite literally. You will realize that maybe you judge them too quickly. It's not that you were judging them. It's probably just that you've seen a lot of people be fake nice and be fake friendly. And so when you meet someone like this, you kind of have your guard up. But after time, you'll realize, okay, I judged you a little bit too soon because you're actually a sweetheart. And you will see from the beginning that they are a very generous person, but as you get to know them more, you'll start to see their generosity appear in more sentimental ways. I guess what I mean by that is, at first, you'll see their generosity through the way they serve others, like their acts of service, or how they work hard for others, how they do favors for other people. But then you start to see more of their generosity in like softer ways of like, oh, you're so sweet, you really didn't have to do that. Like I'm literally thinking of this as them bringing you flowers, or something about a bath. Maybe they draw you a bath, or they like give you bath bombs. That's so random. But like, it could be, for example, you mentioned that you like something and then they give you a gift pertaining to that thing. I heard you like bath bombs, so I got you bath bombs. I don't know why that specific example is coming through, but like, or maybe I don't know, you mention something you like and they go out of their way to provide that experience to you, and it's like, oh my gosh, you really didn't have to do that, but they want to. So you're gonna see that their sweetness is really genuine. There's a loved one that I think they remind you of. Their kindness and their generosity and their humor and their laughter and the way their smile lights up a room, it reminds you of a loved one. And so you feel really safe with them. They could have dark eyes. I'm seeing dark eyes, but they're very like warm and friendly. Their eyes could get kind of like small or squinty when they laugh, and it's very cute. This is super specific, so it's probably not for everybody, but they could have a beauty mark or birthmark kind of under their eye, off to the side. There's also something about straight eyelashes, but I feel like that's getting really specific. Okay. What is their first impression of you? Oh, another thing is, over time, I think you're going to start to see that they're actually very sensitive. They might seem like they're good at taking rejection and they don't really care. And maybe when it comes to professional matters, they are. But when it comes to matters of the heart, I think they're very sensitive. Their first impression of you is the Four of Crystals. Okay, the first thing I heard is someone who has it together. Someone who has their life together, someone who has their shit together. You come across to them as like a responsible and reliable person. You come across to them as mature. You may come across to them as a bit serious. And maybe you appear more serious or closed off around them because you're a bit like skeptical of their friendly energy. And yeah, somehow I'm hearing this conversation that's like, oh, sorry, I was a bit like, what do you call it? Sorry, I was a bit closed off. Sorry if I was kind of rude when we were first getting to know each other. I just had my guard up. And they're like, well, I just thought you were a serious person. I didn't think anything of it. It's okay. They're just so like, they just have good intentions. And I feel like also they tend to assume good intentions in other people, which can be good or bad depending on the situation. But yeah, they see you as very like poised, mature. This is their first impression of you. Serious. And how will they feel about you over time? By the way, both of these are Capricorn. And we also had like Saturn in 10th house, which gives, there's something about your first impression that feels like professional. I don't know. How do they feel about you over time? The High Priestess. Wow. It's interesting that you both have like earth as your first impression and then water as how you feel about each other over time. Earth is the most solid and water is the most fluid. So there is a feeling of you really, I want to say like melting into each other, becoming, I guess, like becoming a lot, I just felt like I had to breathe out, becoming a lot more comfortable around each other and letting your guard down. Even the way this High Priestess is, it looks like she's kind of taking her cloak off of her shoulders. So I think once they get to know you, retrospectively, they would realize that you did have your guard up quite a bit when you first met. And I think they'll notice the progression of you getting more comfortable around them. And I'm hearing that's something that's going to be very rewarding for them, because it's like, oh, you trust me enough to start being more comfortable and start opening up more. And to see that progression of how we're getting closer, it just like affirms to me that our trust is building and like you feel safe around me, and that's such a like compliment. I think they have an impression of you that you have very high standards for who you have relationships with, whether that's romantic or platonic, and that is perhaps true. Like the High Priestess is often this kind of person. I have really high standards for myself. I know what I want. I'm not going to settle. I'm also not going to like chase or be desperate. I think they really have the sense of like, oh, you don't need me. you are independent. You can take care of yourself. You know yourself very well. But they do have this energy of wanting to provide for you. I think when you get closer, they'll get to see your spiritual side more, which they will really appreciate and is maybe not something they necessarily expected of you. I think their first impression of you is that you're very practical. And when they see your spiritual side and your sensitive side, that is something that will pleasantly surprise them. I think they feel a lot of depth in you, and like there's always more that they could learn about you, and that feels exciting to them, because it's like if we were together for years, I would still be learning more and more and more things about you every day. Like you're a complex person. You're not easy to read or easy to understand, but I like that. It's like not everybody can understand you. You have to really be in the right consciousness, and you have to really be willing to see. I also think something they find this very attractive about you is this quiet confidence that you have. So you're like, I know what my truth is, and if you don't get it, like I don't care. You have to be on the right frequency to understand me. And if you're not, then you're not. I'm not going to over-explain myself to you. And your certainty in your inner truth and feeling like you don't have to justify it to anyone, like they find that very attractive, and they feel lucky that they're like one of the ones who gets it. They're picking up what you're putting down. They get your truth, they get your vision. At least they think they do. That's how they feel. But then again, there's always something more with you. There's always something more to learn. You can always take it deeper. I think they appreciate how thoughtful you are as well. You seem to be someone who thinks about things very deeply before you make a decision. Not in a way that you're indecisive, not like, I'm overthinking about it. Like with a lot of intention. You have a quality of introspection and examining your own role in the dynamics and patterns that play out in your life. It feels like you have a self-awareness that they really respect too. Okay, so let's see what you will do together. What will you do together in your relationship? Sorry, my chair is so noisy. We have the Queen of Pentacles. This came out in group number 1's extended, and we were talking about going on lavish dates. So that could definitely be a message for you as well. Please feel free to claim that. If you are living or staying in a penthouse, you are probably living that good life. So it makes sense that this could have the same meaning for you in group number 2. But I also think that you will enjoy having dates with some kind of planned activity. Like, it's awesome to just hang out at home and lounge and do whatever, but I feel like somehow you do these organized activities together. For some reason, I want to say playing darts, which is like very specific, but it's like, let's go play darts. Let's go bowling. Let's go to this exhibit. Let's go see this movie. Like, you're having dates that are planned around an activity, and I feel like that could be very good for your bonding. It does seem like this person works out. I don't know if that's your vibe, but I could see that as something that you do together, or perhaps that is something that they will get you into. And I'm also hearing errands. If you do errands together, it will make them fun. Things that are usually boring will become fun when you do them together. So yeah, things like errands, housework, working from home, this will be very fun when you do it together. You could also really enjoy cooking and eating together, or like exploring new restaurants. So one or both of you could really appreciate like cuisine. But I see you being quite active together, like being out and about and doing a lot of activities. And yeah, maybe one or both of you works from home. I kind of got that feeling. Or you will have kind of a hybrid job, that some days you're at home and some days you're in the office. You could do outdoorsy things together as well. Aw, picnic just came to my mind. Like picnic, hiking, camping, I don't know, some other thing. What will you achieve together? The 9 of Wands. A goal that you have been working on for a long time will finally reach fruition once you are with this person. Maybe this has to do with your goal that was on the back burner, or like your path that was on the back burner. But you, and maybe this is both of you, you have individual goals that you will see to completion once you are together. And this could be because of the support that you give each other, but it could also be because one of the steps to reaching your goal is actually something that you do together. There could also be some healing that you achieve together with this Band-Aid. When we talk about something you've been working on for a long time finally being achieved once you're together, that could also talk about emotional healing. So if you had a wound that was just constantly coming back up and coming back up and coming back up, it could finally be resolved once you are in the relationship with this person. Or this could be the case for them. This could be a bit of a literal interpretation, but you could climb a mountain together, literally. And that could be something big that you achieve. There could be a physical feat that you achieve together, like reaching a goal with your health, with your body, with your fitness, some kind of athletic milestone. You could also reach some milestone with travel. So just for one example, maybe you went to every continent together. Maybe you saw all the wonders of the world together. How will you grow together? That's the next one. How will you grow together? There's something about someone's eyesight improving. I don't know if this is like super specific, but maybe someone's getting like a different pair of glasses, or someone's getting the like laser surgery. I don't know. Maybe that's just for like one person. Your person could wear glasses. Okay. I also see the color black with them, so they could wear a lot of black. Or maybe they have like black hair or black eyes. For how you'll grow together, we have the Six of Cups. Okay, so first of all, I know this message is not going to be for everybody because, 4444, as I'm holding up this card. Some of you, if this is something that you want, take this as confirmation that you will have children with this person, because the Six of Cups is a card that talks about children. And because this is how you will grow together, I feel like for some of you, there is a message about growing together through parenting. It could also be like healing from your childhood, or reconnecting with your inner child, embracing a childlike energy. That could be a way that you grow together. I think that, we obviously learn from our own past, but there's a feeling of being able to learn from each other's pasts as well. So you kind of get double the lessons, if that makes sense. You could explore your past lives together. Maybe that's just for some of you. But there's a feeling of learning spiritual lessons through like exploring your past lives, or maybe learning about one that you had together or something. And I think that, of course, there will be, because this is a serious relationship, that's what we're reading for, there will be a point where they take you back to their hometown and you take them back to your hometown, which implies that wherever you're in this relationship together is neither of your hometowns. But being able to see the place where each other grew up, and getting to like meet relatives and see the places that you frequented and get a glimpse into each other's childhood, I feel like that will really grow your bond and grow your appreciation for one another too. Let's get a message of love and support and encouragement from your person. I am smelling, it's like some kind of tall grass. In my mind's eye, it kind of looks like wheat, but I don't know if that's what it is. Maybe what is it? Like wheat or hay or some kind of tall grass. Maybe this is like a vision that I'm seeing from somebody's hometown. There could be a lot of fields or like farms. I'm thinking of like, yeah, fields of like wheat or corn or like rice or something. Potatoes, I don't know. A message of love, support, and encouragement from your person. The High Priestess, that's totally you. Believe in your power. The more you connect, the more you go within and connect to source, the more you will remember your power. You may see me as this like catalyst who brought something to your life, but you did that yourself. If anything, maybe I took part in holding up a mirror for you to see your true power, but that power was always yours. You're gonna accomplish amazing things, and I hope that you really give yourself the credit and everything that you need to achieve your dream life is quite literally already inside of you. And I see it and I'm amazed by it every day. I think overall their message for you is like, whatever it is that you're accomplishing, just know that you did that. Like, give yourself the credit. I can see an exchange of you telling your person like, you changed my life, and they're like, no, you changed your life. You did that. I'm just holding a mirror so you can see yourself, but you did that. I want to say they put you on a pedestal, but not in that way. Not in like they put you above them, but they want you to feel elevated and feel uplifted. Be up in the penthouse where you deserve to be. Yeah. Okay, group number 2, we're gonna go into the extended now, where we're gonna see what they love most about you, your physical and emotional compatibility, which may or may not get into 18 plus territory, why your soul chose them in this lifetime, why their soul chose you in this lifetime, fuck that up both times, why their soul chose you in this lifetime, and how close are you to manifesting this relationship? What, if anything, would need to change in order for you to manifest this relationship? And finally, any significant timeframes or signs and synchronicities, timeframes and signs and synchronicities. We're gonna look at all of them pertaining to this connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, there's gonna be links to that below on either Patreon or Vimeo. So I will meet you wherever you choose to view it. If you're gonna leave the reading here, I wanna say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch the extendeds. You can also watch full-length exclusive pick a card readings, or you can watch both. It's a great time over there. I will have that link down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you. your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. Oh my gosh, I'm smelling grass again. It feels like, I don't know, countryside. The grass is growing. Maybe someone freshly mowed the grass. It's like, it smells very fresh and vibrant and really nice. And like the air is clean. I like it. Anyway, someone's hometown is in the countryside. That's the vibe I'm getting. And lots of green. I don't even remember where I was in the outro, but anyway, I'm sending lots of love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number threes. So if you guys chose the Zebra Calcite and the New Moon Tarot, this is going to be a reading. So here is the full breakdown of the reading that we're going to be doing today. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. And here on YouTube, we are going to ask the higher self of your next serious partner to come through and ask them what they want to tell you about them. So any traits like their personality, their looks, their job, their hobbies, their astrological placements, we will leave it open to them. Then we are going to look into your meeting. So how, when, and where it's going to happen, your first impression of them versus how you feel about them over time, their first impression of you versus how they feel about you over time. Then we're going to look into your relationship and see what you'll do together, what you'll achieve together, how you'll grow together. And then we are going to finish off the reading with a message of love, support, and encouragement from your future partner. Then in the extended reading, this is going to be available on Patreon and Vimeo. So I will have the links to both down below, whichever one works best for you. In the extended, we're going to see what they love most about you. By the way, during this reading, I'm probably going to call them your person, but of course, this is referring to your next serious partner. So what your person loves most about you, your physical and emotional compatibility. And for the physical part of this, we may look into 18 plus stuff. We may not. I will leave it open to your higher selves, what messages want to come through. We are going to see why your soul chose them in this lifetime and vice versa, why their soul chose you in this lifetime, how close you are to manifesting this relationship at the time that you're watching, and what needs to change, if anything, so that you can manifest this relationship. Then we're going to finish the extended by looking at significant time frames as well as signs and synchronicities pertaining to this connection. So that is the full reading that we're going to be doing today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. So we are asking the higher self of your next serious partner to come through and reveal any information or traits that they would like you to know. We have the pathless, difficult decisions, lack of direction. We have grounding, nature, presence, practicality, stability. And we have the turtle. Okay, when I look at all three of these cards together, I'm thinking of that expression, not all who wander are lost. I feel like this is someone who very much goes through life at their own pace. They don't care who is doing what around them or how fast the world around them is moving. Like, they're very much marching to the beat of their own drum, and they will not be pressured by outside forces. They don't move through the world with the same sense of stress and urgency that I feel a lot of people do. It's like everybody's running around trying to make something of themselves, trying to prove themselves, trying to reach certain milestones by certain ages, trying to check off boxes. And your next partner is just not like that. I think they are taking it one day at a time. They are going with the flow. They seem like a very calm and grounded and self-assured person. They don't really need validation from anyone around them. And they don't feel the need to like define their destination. I think for them, it's very much about the journey, enjoying the journey every day. So in that way, I could say that they've also mastered living in the present moment. This is such a grounding and calming person to be around. I think if you're in the presence of this person, your worries will just melt away. I don't think it's not in them to worry about the future or worry about things that they can't control. I sort of get an old soul vibe from this person. And I think I said this for another group, but I am getting hermit vibes as well. So I want to read this pathless card from the guidebook. They could also be someone who's passionate about multiple things. So they don't want to define their identity as just one thing or one role. They want to experience it all. They're also very, like, they treat everybody equally. They treat everyone's experience and everyone's insights as valuable. They could have friends from many different walks of life, or they feel like anybody has something of value to give to you. Anybody has something of value to teach you. Okay, the pathless. It's on page 103. Oh, by the way, this is an earth card. They could very well have strong earth energy because this is an earth card. And then this grounding card is related to the root chakra, which in turn is related to the earth element. So they likely have strong earth in their chart. And in this deck, this suit is representing hard work and necessity, as well as fulfillment and community. And the pathless says, "The street is busy, alive with the shouting of voices and the sound of boots on cobbles, but one pair of feet seems to have no destination, walking in circles, meandering and lost. This poor soul is the pathless who hesitated on many decisions and rushed into too many others. They are the product of indecision and misdirection, lacking confidence in themselves and trusting too much in people who would misguide them. It feels like progress on whatever you've been working towards has ground to a halt. Others might give you unsolicited advice, but you know yourself better than anyone else. Take a step back and consider a new direction, but don't keep stubbornly moving forward if it's not getting you anywhere." Okay, this could be a hint about like how or where you meet this person. For some reason, when I was reading this passage, I kept hearing side quest. And I feel like there's a message that you could meet your next partner when you are on a side quest of some kind. When your main path has come to a halt, and maybe when you're at a period of your life of rethinking things, of rethinking your priorities. So you're either like, when I get back on my main path, I want to do it in a completely different way. I want to have a completely different approach to it. Or some of you may be thinking, I don't even want to get back on this main path at all. It's like you put something on pause and you're doing a side quest in life, so to speak. You could meet this person when you feel a little bit like you're in an in-between phase of your life. Okay, I'm sorry, this is going to sound a little bit cheesy, but just bear with me. You could meet this person when you're in a bit of an in-between phase in your life, when you feel a bit lost, when you're not really sure what your direction is. And then through meeting and getting to know this person and the journey you'll go on with them, you're like, and then I realized I was never lost. I was just finding myself. I'm sorry, it sounds very cheesy when I say it like that, but I do think there's something powerful in there. Maybe my group number 3 is like those of you who chose this group, you've been kind of rushing through life, like trying to rush to some destination, but you maybe don't even know why, or like don't even know where. Maybe many of you have been pursuing things based on what others have told you, or what you think others expect you to do, what you think you should do. And now you're at this point where you're just pausing and you're like, what am I doing? Let me just take a break, because this is feeling out of alignment. This is the vibe that I'm getting. And for an example of this side quest energy, this would be like someone who is studying in a university and they're like, man, I don't know if this is the right path for me anymore. I'm going to take a gap year. And then they meet their partner during that gap year. So it's like when they're taking a pause, when they're in sort of a quote unquote in between. But even defining it in that way, I feel like we're recontextualizing, like, why is this the main path? And why is anything that happens outside of this like taking a detour? Why does this have to be the main path? What if my whole life is the main path? I think meeting this person just really brings you this realization of like, where was I running to? What was I trying to prove? This person really helps you slow down, calms you down. I heard nervous system, so maybe they help to calm your nervous system. Maybe they help to get you out of like fight or flight, or help to get you out of survival mode, or just help you stop feeling anxious or feeling urgent and just be. This also sounds cheesy, but when was the last time you just were? You're a human being, not a human doing. Sorry. But yeah, the turtle makes me think of that as well. Like just going at your own pace. I'm thinking of sea turtles, going with the flow, like trusting the current of life and trusting where your intuition leads you. Whew, this is a very calming energy. So I want to write down the letters that are on. I'm just writing down the first letters that are on these oracle cards, because they could be letters in this person's name. And yeah, they could have strong earth energy, and then we also have water with the turtle. They could have double earth in their big three, just because it's coming up twice. That's not going to be for everyone, but that could be a confirmation for some of you. Like they could have earth, sun, earth, moon, or like earth, sun, earth rising. Let's get some details about your meeting. Okay, we have Pisces, we have Pluto, and we have the 11th house. Yeah. You are definitely meeting them when you're going through some kind of major change in your life. It's like a complete change of your outlook on life and how you define the progress of your life and how you define success, which makes your life feel a lot richer and a lot more abundant. It's this big realization of, wow, I had a very limited view of what it meant to be successful, or what it meant to be quote unquote on the right path. I had a very limited view of who I was supposed to be and what I was supposed to prioritize. I really think there's something about this relationship that is deeply grounding, but also deeply freeing. It takes you out of some big illusion or some big scam of the world. It takes you out of some kind of rat race and shows you that you were always worthy just as you are, and just you existing is enough. Just being as you are is enough. This is definitely someone who loves you unconditionally. And I'm noticing that we have the number 6 on this card, which is the number of the lovers. And I think that's really sweet. Yeah, I feel like they could definitely be an earth rising, like Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn rising. That's the vibe that I'm getting. And then they could have a bit of like water placements, because we have Pisces here. Pluto is associated with Scorpio, also a water sign, and then like the element of water here. with Cancer being the other water sign. I think that you could meet this person through a friend with the 11th house here. For some of you, just take this if it resonates, but this person could already be your friend. So this could be like a friends to lovers situation. Otherwise, I think you will meet through a mutual friend, meet like at a gathering of friends, or yeah, some kind of friend gathering or community gathering. Like you could be in the same community. For some of you, it could be an online community. Like you could meet them on the internet, because the 11th house does kind of give me that vibe as well. So there's a few different ways that I could interpret the 11th house. But yeah, I feel like if you are in this phase of your life right now, feeling like I want to slow down, I want to rethink where I'm headed, I want to rethink my priorities, maybe you want to take a break from something, I feel like that's a sign that you're about to meet this person. I have an image of you sitting on stairs and talking with this person, and it's just the two of you, and you're having like a really deep conversation, and you're feeling really heard by them. And there's a lot of unconditional love here, like feeling really seen by them and feeling like they love you no matter what your external world might look like, or no matter what your life might look like, no matter what stage you might be in. They just love your soul. They just love your essence, and that will never change. It's really beautiful. So we're going to look at your first impressions of each other. I just heard fire escape. Maybe, I don't know, can you sit out on a fire escape? Maybe it's like you're on a balcony. You're having like a deep conversation on a balcony or on stairs. Feels like outside of someone's house or outside of someone's apartment. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. In terms of their physical appearance, there's a lot of brown on this card. Like they could have brown hair, brown eyes. They could dress in more earthy tones. They could have like brown or hazily eyes. I feel like they're tall too. They could have long limbs or like thin limbs. I also just heard double jointed. I feel like they have a very kind and gentle face. They could have long eyelashes. I don't know why that's coming through. Or like very full eyebrows. Okay. They have a very nice smile. This is very specific, but I feel like some of them, they don't often show their teeth when they smile. It's more of just like a closed mouth smile. But then when they really like smile big or really laugh, then they'll show their teeth, and it's like very endearing. I guess maybe they're usually not very emotive. So when they're like smiling big, you know that they're really happy. They ask very thoughtful questions in conversation, so you can tell that not only they're listening, but they're really digesting what you're saying. And they don't make assumptions about you, which may be something that you really appreciate. I don't know about you. I guess this could annoy anyone, but I personally, like, my pet peeve is when people think like, oh, like, I know you better than you know you. Oh, I have you pinned down. I'm like, oh, you know me so well, eh? Like, I don't know. I've met a few people like that. Like, they think they're so slick and like reading me, and like they don't. It feels kind of patronizing, I guess. So, but I feel like there's some, whatever you call the opposite of that energy, like just very hearing you as you are, not jumping to any conclusions about you, not trying to put you in a box. Just be as you are. A very thoughtful person indeed. And philosophical too. I don't know, maybe they studied philosophy or they're just interested in it. I feel like they could be interested in things like philosophy, history. They could also be interested in science and tech. That's coming through. Maybe their profession has something to do with that. I feel like they're probably in a pretty chill profession. And I don't mean chill like they're not working hard, but maybe something about the environment is laid back. They could have a very like friendly relationship with their boss or coworkers, so their work environment feels more casual. And I feel like there's few people in their workplace. So it could be a small company or just like a very small team. And for some reason, I see like men or masculine energy surrounding them wherever they work. So maybe it is kind of like a field that typically men work in. This is also really specific, but there's like something about a person not moving away for university, like going to the college or university that is in their hometown or perhaps close by. They're just very genuine. Okay, your first impression of them. Woo! We're gonna take this one that came out face up, but that's a lot. You probably read this person pretty accurately from the first time you met, and maybe they made you feel a lot of things. Maybe you actually like got to know them or will get to know them very, very well from the first time you meet, which leads me to believe that you probably have a very long conversation, 2222 as I'm saying that. You have a heart-to-heart perhaps. With the King of Pentacles here, it's quite obvious to me that like from the first time meeting this person, you will have an immense respect for them. I think their ability to trust in themselves and go at their own pace is something that you will really admire. And I think you see them in a very high regard. And I really do think you are seeing each other's souls and connecting to an unconditional love that you have for each other. That's just coming through very strongly. These cards have pretty realistic looking people on them. Actually, this one does as well. These two people don't really look the same, but they could have some features that are similar to your person. How will you feel about them over time? I do think that over time, your first impression of them will only be confirmed like over and over again, because your first impression of them is that they're a great person. And so over time, that will just keep being proven to you. Something else I could say with the King of Pentacles is that I don't really think this is someone who, you know, sometimes when you have a crush, you feel nervous and butterflies. I think you just always, from the start, feel really, oh, this is making me emotional, feel really comfortable and safe around this person. You could even be physically affectionate quite early on in your relationship. I don't know about physical intimacy. I'm just picking up on affection. So maybe you like hold hands or hug or cuddle each other early on in the relationship because it just feels right to be physically close or physically touching. It feels like a warmth and a comfort that creeps up on you and fills you up rather than like a lightning bolt. It just feels very safe. Yeah, over time we have the Ace of Pentacles. So your first impression of them will only solidify. And then we have the Two of Wands. So I think when you first meet them, you see a lot of potential in them and the things that they can achieve. And over time, they will prove you right. This person is going to achieve a lot as you move through your relationship. And you will as well with this Two of Wands. And so I think as time passes, you just become more and more proud of them. And like, this is so beautiful because it's like, you are succeeding and thriving, but you did it your own way. You did it at your own pace. You didn't give in to the pressures to hurry up and make a decision or hurry up and reach this milestone. Taking advice from people who don't know your journey. Like, you committed to doing it your own way. Always honoring your soul and your freedom. I think you're gonna adventure a lot together. You could travel the world together. And it's gonna be a beautiful experience to get to witness each other's growth. You will both achieve great things. And is there an irony in this? Maybe, because it's like, I feel this energy of someone so urgently trying to run and reach a destination. And it's actually when they slow down and lift all of these self-imposed deadlines and lift all of this pressure, it's actually then that they really start achieving things. What is their first impression of you? That you are beautiful. I'm also seeing red hair, like reddish hair. So there's a lot of stuff coming through. Yeah, they're looking at this crown of crystals. There could be something about your hair or just your facial features, the way you emote, that they find very beautiful. Their first impression of you is that you maybe seem a bit shy or reserved. They may feel like you're lacking confidence a little bit, or that you don't necessarily fully see your beauty and see how wonderful you are. Their first impression of you could be that you are a bit quiet. You maybe gave them the impression that you didn't want to talk to them, or you just didn't want to be talked to. Like, because I'm thinking of this cat, and like, cats are very like independent, leave me alone. They maybe, I keep wanting to talk in past tense. Like, did you already meet this person? They maybe thought you were giving off that vibe of like, you're not in the mood to talk, you're not in the mood to socialize, like you just want to be left alone. They felt a bit of shyness. How they feel about you over time is the Six of Wands. You're so fucking cool. Yeah. So definitely once they got to know you, again, I'm speaking in past tense as if they already got to know you. Maybe a lot of you have already met this person. Once they get to know you, I feel like that impression of you being like shy, quiet, closed off will go away. And they'll see the fire, they'll see the passion that is underneath that. As they get to know you over time, they're like, wow, this person's really cool. This person's really badass. This person's really funny. This person's really smart. I heard you're kind of a smart ass, and they say that with so much love. Maybe you have really quick comebacks, or you use sarcasm in a genius way. You can roast people with precision and in a very witty way. Like you have this like very clever sass to you that I think they really like. And I've said this in all groups, which good, because everybody should feel this way about their partner. Like they're very proud to be with you and to show you off and to be official with you and be seen with you. And yeah, Two of Wands and Six of Wands, like I said, you're both going to achieve amazing things and they're going to be there cheering you on. It's beautiful. You kind of meet each other in this liminal space where you've escaped the popular timeline, which is just like be highly strung all the time, be running towards your material goals. You kind of slipped out of that timeline and met each other in this quiet, peaceful, still space. And then you cultivated your dream lives from there on your own terms. I love this energy. Okay. I'm gonna drink some water. It's lemon sparkling water. That's why it made such a loud noise when I opened it. Okay. So let's see what you will do together. What will you do together in your relationship? We have the Knight of Cups. Definitely continuing to take it slow, go with the flow, and bring peace and healing to each other. I think this relationship is very calm and harmonious. I think you have a deep emotional bond with each other. It does feel a bit spiritual in nature, like this ability to tap into each other's emotions. And I think you're very attentive to each other's needs. You could be a little bit of homebodies, or when you do hang out and go on dates, I feel like the activities are quite simple. Like, let's go sit on the beach and watch the sunset. Let's sit in the park. Let's people watch on the bridge. I don't know. I guess I'm seeing a lot of scenarios where you're just like sitting outside, enjoying nature, getting to know each other and talking about life. And it always just feels so healing to be in each other's presence. And again, I feel like you're very affectionate with each other. So you could spend a lot of time just like cuddling and holding each other, just being in each other's company. I honestly feel like it doesn't really matter what you're doing. Just being in each other's presence is like the greatest bliss. And I think you do a lot of chill things together, just like lying in bed and cuddling, talking, watching movies, hanging out with friends, eating snacks, just the basic stuff, the little things. And I also feel like you talk a lot about your plans for the future, like what you want to achieve together and where you want to travel together. Speaking of which, the next thing we're going to look at is what will you achieve together? Ooh, how many is that? Archangel Michael down. Sorry. Okay. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so you're hardworking. 8 of Cups. You're working hard so that you can exit something. I'm hearing like exit strategy. I'll just give, oh, by the way, 2 8s. Okay, we'll get into it. But this is giving me the vibe of someone working very hard, but they have some kind of end game plan. So like, I'm gonna take a lot of extra shifts, or I'm gonna work overtime. I'm gonna work really hard and save up this money, not with the goal of moving up in that company, but with the goal of quitting. So you're like planning. It's like you meet when one phase of your life has ended and then you plan the new phase together. You're devising a master plan together. Like, okay, we're gonna work really hard for this amount of time. We're gonna get our funds. We're gonna blow this pop stand. And then we have the 6 of Cups and Judgment. You're gonna live a simple and harmonious life together. And you're going to find your calling together, find your purpose. You are creating your own heaven on earth. You may resonate with being light workers. The Judgment card is giving me that vibe, especially in this deck with like the sun rays coming down. You may also resonate with having past lives with this person. The 6 of Cups came up for another group and I said it for them as well. So I will mention it here in case it is relevant for you, but you may, if it's something that you want, you could very well have children with this person in the future. And so something that you achieve together could be like raising amazing children, could also be healing your inner child. Of course, it could be both. I think you bring to each other a realization that your life purpose was kind of always there. It was kind of always right in front of you since you were a child. It could be something you continuously were exposed to as a child, something you liked to do. But when you find the answer, it feels so simple and yet so exciting. Like, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. It's what, imagine that, like the thing I naturally love and the thing I naturally gravitate towards, the thing I feel so good doing, like that in itself is my purpose. I didn't need to look out there, quote unquote, to find it. It was like right here in the things that I'm already doing. You are helping each other discover and step into your purpose. And yeah, somehow I feel like you're going on big adventures and traveling the world together as well. How will you grow together? We have the Star. Wow, you're really manifesting your ideal future. And you're really manifesting healing. The way I want to say it is healing from an old timeline. So the way I see it is that you escaped an old timeline and moved into a new one, but somehow the old timeline lived on within you. It sort of left its mark on you, and you are succeeding in shedding that old timeline so that it no longer lives on within you, almost like it no longer exists. Really shedding. It's not about shedding an old you. It's the old timeline you were living in, the old reality you were living in. It's no longer relevant. It no longer applies. You are in a new world. Like, you are manifesting a new world. I know it sounds dramatic, but it's like you're manifesting a new earth with this person, a new timeline for not only you, but for the collective who matches your frequency to live on. Yeah, it's giving light worker vibes, I have to say, like birthing a new earth, birthing heaven on earth, creating a paradise for the collective. You could be growing a community together, or this could be talking about soul family. If you resonate with having children, I definitely think they are your soul family as well. I also think the way you're growing together on a personal level is learning to embrace everything that makes you weird, everything that makes you different, everything that makes you eccentric. I often feel that with the star because of its association with Aquarian energy. One or both of you could be passionate about nature, the environment, the planet. You could be directly involved in initiatives to help the environment, or you could be accumulating wealth and like giving those resources to people or organizations who are saving the environment. Yeah, I'm just thinking about, there is that message that your person could be interested in science and tech, and they might use that to like save the world or save the environment or save some animals or save people, like using tech for good. Okay, the last thing we're going to see is a message of love, support, and encouragement from your person. A message of love, support, and encouragement from your person. We have the Ace of Cups. Okay, this is definitely saying make sure that you fill your own cup. Fill your own cup first. Meet your own needs first. Before me, before anyone else, I want you to take care of you. And never say sorry for that. Never feel bad for that. Because I can tell you, as someone who loves you dearly, nothing makes me happier than seeing you love you. Nothing makes me happier than seeing you stand up for you. Nothing makes me happier than seeing you set boundaries and take care of you and fill your cup and enjoy your own company. Recognize the delight it is to be in your company. And even if your self-care process involved stepping away from me or stepping away from the relationship, not saying it's going to, but hypothetically, even if it did, I would want you to honor that. I'm a full supporter of you loving you in the best way that you can, and never feeling like you have to apologize for that. There's this example that's coming to my mind, like, for those of you who resonated with, there was like a shy or introverted energy coming up. And I was just imagining, like, let's say you're at a party and it's really not your vibe. So you're kind of being a bit more quiet. Maybe you're kind of like standing off to the side, but then you feel bad about it. You're like, oh, maybe people think I'm rude because I'm not matching the energy. Maybe people think I'm stuck up because I'm not like in the mix and talking and partying with everyone. You start to feel bad for like honoring your own comfort, you know? And they're saying like, who cares if people think it's like weird or whatever that you're keeping to yourself? Like, my dream is that you will do what feels best for you and do what feels comfortable for you and like not give a fuck, you know? Like, however you may or may not, because we don't know at the end of the day how we're being perceived. But we know what feels good to us, and we know what feels comfortable to us, and we know what comes naturally to us. And I want to live in a world where you do what comes naturally to you, because I feel like that's when miracles happen, and that's when your light really shines, especially when you're unapologetic about it. 4444, as I was talking about that. They just love you so much, and they're such a big supporter of you. Okay. Group number 3. We are going to take it over to the extended now, where we are going to see what your person loves most about you, your physical and emotional compatibility, which may or may not touch on 18 plus things, why your soul chose them in this lifetime and why their soul chose you in this lifetime. How close are you to manifesting this relationship? What, if anything, needs to change in order for you to manifest this relationship? And finally, significant timeframes, signs, and synchronicities pertaining to this relationship. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, I'm going to have the links down below to Patreon and Vimeo, and you can meet me wherever you want to meet me. If you want to leave the reading here, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch extendeds, you can watch full-length exclusive pick a card readings, you can watch both. It's a great time over there. I will have it linked down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the Amblygonite and the Lucid Dreams Black Eclipse Edition Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about your next serious relationship. I'm actually filming your reading almost a full 24 hours after I finished group number 3's reading, which is a bit unusual for me. Usually I just do them all in one day. But what had happened is 2 nights ago, I went out with my friends and it was a beautiful time. But because of that, I had a bit of a late start to my day yesterday. And that, combined with just how freaking long these readings have been so far, I only made it to group number 3 yesterday. So I was like, okay, I'll do group number 4 in the morning. But then this morning, I ended up FaceTiming with ASO for like 6 hours. She says hi, by the way. She told me to say hi to you specifically, group number 4. So yeah, here we are at like 5 p.m. the next day, and I'm finally filming your reading, 1:11 on the camera timer. Okay, this may be relevant for some of you, perhaps a night out with friends or a reunion with a long distance friend could have something to do with the circumstances of you meeting your next partner. Or there could be a message from spirit to prioritize friendships and socializing more. That may even be a way that you can manifest your next partner into your life. But anyway, let's get into your reading. So this is the full breakdown of the reading that we're going to do today. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. Here on YouTube, we're going to start by seeing what your partner's higher self, I may be calling them your person during this reading, but we're going to ask their higher self to come through and let you know anything they would like you to know about their traits. So their personality, their looks, their job, their hobbies, their astrological placements, things like that. We are going to look into your meeting with them. So how, when, and where it's going to happen, your first impression of them versus how you'll feel about them over time, their first impression of you versus how they'll feel about you over time. And then we're going to look into your relationship and see what you'll do together, what you'll achieve together, how you'll grow together. And we are going to finish off the reading with a message of love, support, and encouragement from your person. Then in the extended reading, which is going to be available on Patreon or Vimeo, whichever one works better for you, we are going to see what your person loves most about you. We're going to look at your physical and emotional compatibility together. And for the physical part, we may get into some 18 plus stuff. We may not. I will leave it up to your higher selves. We're going to see why your soul chose them in this lifetime and why their soul chose you in this lifetime. We're going to see how close you are to manifesting this relationship at the time that you're watching, what needs to change, if anything, in order to manifest this relationship. And then finally, we will see any significant time frames, signs, and synchronicities pertaining to this relationship. So that's the full reading that we're going to do today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get started. So what does your person's higher self want to reveal about them? Any basic traits they want you to know about? We have the gambler, loss, and risks. So this is a pretty straightforward message that your next partner is someone who is not afraid of taking risks. When I look at this card, I get the sense that they have one big goal in their life. I almost wanted to say had in the past tense, as in they've already achieved this goal. I get the sense of one big goal that took up most of their focus in their life, most of their passion. They spent a lot of time working or studying or practicing, and yet there's always an element of luck. But because it was something they were so passionate about, they were willing to take that risk. Maybe, for example, they invested a lot of money into a business and they're like, this may work, it may not work. So I might lose a lot of money, or I am chasing this goal, and if it doesn't work, I've maybe just wasted a bunch of years of my life, but I can't not do it. Like, I have to take the leap of faith because this is so important to me. There's one big goal in your person's heart. And I want to tell you that they either did already achieve it or they will. This is for sure. We have sound. Interesting. So they could be a musician, especially a string instrument. Music, silence, rhythm, vibration. And we have the number 33, which could be significant as well. And we have camel. This light blue color is coming up on two of the cards. The first thing coming to my mind with this is that perhaps their favorite color is blue. They could also like the season winter or be born in the winter. It could even be the color of their eyes. But not only, this is the type of person who's gonna make their goal come true no matter what. They're going to put everything they have into their goal, because with the gambler, there's this message that they're willing to take risks and they're willing to accept unknowns and take a leap of faith if it's for their goal. And then with the camel, I'm getting a sense of endurance, because I'm just thinking about a camel walking in the desert and being able to go a long time without water. So they're definitely not the type to give up quickly. Even if they don't see results right away, they're going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And this is why their success is assured. I just heard the magic combination, I guess. They have the magic combination of faith and boldness, as well as perseverance and patience. And with that magic combination, they are going to make their wish come true. This number 33, I kind of want to look into, because 33 is a master number. Okay, this is just from Google, but I want to read this. In numerology, the master number 33 is considered the most influential and spiritually evolved, often referred to as the master teacher. It represents a powerful combination of the creative, free-spirited energy of the number 3 and the loving, responsible, caring energy of the number 6. Master number 33 is associated with high levels of sincere devotion and is often linked to spiritual alignment, illumination, and a special connection in twin flame relationships. Okay. It could be, this is probably just for a very few of you, but both of you would be crazy, but you could be a a life path number 33. Or they could be a life path number 33. But yeah, this definitely sounds like their energy. I would also look out for repeating 3s. If you're seeing that number, it could be a sign of them, a sign that their higher self is around. We have the elements of earth and fire present here. And in terms of physical appearance, for one, I feel like they could wear a lot of accessories. Or they could have like accessories that they always wear. For example, I always wear these rings. They could have, I feel like they have very kind and gentle eyes. They could have a bit of a rounder face or an oval shaped face. This person's hair looks quite fluffy. That is also standing out to me. So they could have thick hair or kind of fluffy hair, or even a little bit frizzy hair, especially if it's humid. I can relate to that. And it looks like their hair is a lighter color. This looks like a light brown. Whether that is natural or colored, I feel like camels kind of have the same color hair. So like a dark blonde or a light brown colored hair could be significant, and they could have more of a fair complexion as well. I feel like they are tall. They could be more on the slender side. And they could have nice arms or nice hands. Obviously that's subjective, but just looking at this card, I feel like there's an emphasis on the arms and the shoulders. And then obviously there's pairs of hands here. There could be something about the way your hands fit into each other. Like your hands just fit perfectly together. You could have similar markings on your hands, similar lines on your hands, and that could be a really powerful synchronicity. Holding hands or shaking hands could be one of your first moments of physical contact. I feel like especially holding hands could be one of your first more kind of like intimate gestures towards each other. Yeah, that seems significant. Or maybe like the moment you hold hands is the moment you know this is the one, or like you feel some electricity, because I keep getting this visual of like hands clasped together. Okay, let's read this passage from the guidebook, because I've been doing that for all of the groups. So you're the earth element, and in this deck, it is associated with hard work and necessity, as well as fulfillment and community. So the gambler is on page 92. The number 92 or 29, or the numbers 2 or 9 could be significant. Dice rattle in cups, voices shout in celebration or disappointment as the cards are revealed. The air is thick and smoky and all around you. Coins are exchanged in ever-growing amounts. The victorious rejoice and the unlucky grasp desperately for just a glimmer of success. One figure sits hunched at a table, patting their pockets for a last coin, a final trinket, something to gamble away in search of the fortune that must surely be waiting in the next hand. The gambler keeps coming back, convinced that things will eventually turn in their favor. Repetition does not necessarily mean success. However, and for the gambler, it means losing everything. Whatever obstacle you keep encountering, doing the same thing over and over again clearly isn't working. Stop gambling on the hope that things will change. Instead, change your habits or your approach if you want to make any progress. Okay, there's a couple messages that are coming through to me when I read this passage. And one is about your next partner's profession. I feel like whatever field they are in, luck is definitely a big part of it in order to be successful. And this is not to discount their talents or their, the grind, because they put in a lot of hard work. But I think even they would acknowledge, I did get very lucky. So they're in a field where people could be very, very skilled and very, very qualified and still not be successful. And vice versa. People could be not very skilled and become very successful. So like part of it is just about timing, or maybe it's about who you know. It's interesting that we have music here because I could definitely see that applying to a career in music, but something about the field that they became successful in, it's like a big part of it is luck. I feel that way about YouTube as well. You can have a great channel, but it's just the luck of like, is the algorithm going to pick me up? So yeah, there's definitely an element of luck in what they do. There could also be some element of temptation in it. Like, I don't know, maybe when people get successful, they become greedy for more, or just the culture of it. There's like, maybe you get tempted into, it's kind of giving devil card energy. Like, I'm not saying your partner does this by any means, but there could be shady practices that exist in whatever general field they are in. And then there was another message in that passage that I think is a piece of advice from Spirit for you. In order to reach success in your goals, you need to change your approach. Doing the same thing over and over and over again will not lead to the result you want. So this is a piece of advice for your own personal goals. Something else that came through, and maybe this is just for a few of you, please feel free to ignore me, like you'll know if this is not your message, but in order to come together with this person, you may need to let go of another connection that has been giving you nothing, like, or someone who's been giving you the bare minimum or giving you crumbs. That really can become like gambling. Like, maybe this time they'll give me the treatment I want. Maybe this time they'll give me the attention I want. Maybe this time they'll give me the respect I deserve. And you keep knocking on their door and knocking on their door, hoping that they will change. If you're in a dynamic like that with someone, I do feel that you will need to let go of that connection in order to make space for this person to come into your life. Okay, I'm also going to just write the letters. I'm writing the first letter of every word that's on these cards, because these could be letters in their name, they could be initials. And let's roll some dice to see details about your meeting. We have Pluto, we have the 4th house, and we have Cancer. Okay, the 4th house and Cancer, this is giving vibes of your home, your roots. So someone is going to go through a major relocation or a major change in their living situation before you meet them. So maybe you go through a really big move, or they go through a really big move. And this could even be like changing your workplace, your house, your city, your country. It could be a change in the people you live with, like maybe somebody moved in or somebody moved out. It seems like there is a major change in where you live or who you are living with, and you kind of feel uprooted. Okay, I feel like this is your energy. You feel uprooted and you feel plunged into unfamiliar territory. There could be something or someone that exits your life that once gave you a lot of security, and you feel a bit lost without it. It feels a bit like tower, it feels a bit like tower card energy. Like you're going through I'm like getting chills. You're going through a tower moment before you meet this person. I do want to clarify here, if you've already been through a tower moment, this doesn't mean you're going to go through another one, but that in some way, what you went through is leading to you meeting your next partner. And by the way, tower moment is like something abruptly falling apart or coming to an end in your life, and it leaves you feeling like, where do I go from here? Because I thought my future was going to look one way, but now those plans have fallen through. And maybe now you have to start from scratch. You have to make new plans. You have to find your footing again. There could be like, a living situation or a work situation, something that abruptly came to an end, and what you thought the coming months or coming years were going to look like is now completely changed. It's like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? So this may be the circumstances that you're in. I want to say right before you meet this person. So if you're going through something like this right now, I think that's a strong sign that you are about to meet them, or maybe you've even met them very recently. And I don't think, this does not feel like you planning to meet them. This doesn't feel like I'm looking for a partner. Let me see if someone can introduce me. Let me go out and see if I can meet someone. Let me join this app. It doesn't feel like that, because maybe you're even feeling, I'm not in a place in my life to be starting a relationship. I have to focus on what my next steps are. I have to focus on healing. I have to focus on recovering. I have to focus on pivoting and changing my plans. It seems okay. The way I just heard it is like starting a romantic relationship would be the last thing on your mind. But then, as life would have it, you meet this person. And it does seem like there's an immediate familiarity, and there's something about contact with your hands. Like the moment you shake hands, the moment you have that first contact, like you know that you're going to have a relationship with this person. And the timing is so strange. I'm hearing that it almost feels a little bit comical. It's like, imagine you had very smooth sailing in your life and you were looking for your partner and you don't meet them. And then when your life starts to get a little bit hectic or uncertain, the universe puts your partner in your life. And it's like, the universe is timing, man. It's mysterious. And it's like, why? Why at this point in my life? That is what this feels like. It does seem like you will meet them in an intimate setting. This is very weirdly specific, but you could be meeting them in a square room. Because, some rooms are like, they're shaped like an L, or they're shaped like a triangle or something. But I have this visual of it being like a perfect square. Or it could be a rectangle, but just like 4 walls. It's like you're boxed in. I see you in this contained space, and it's like an intimate space. There may be other people present, but probably not many. And the atmosphere is quiet, it's calm. For some reason, I'm seeing it as a little bit dark, but maybe that's because it's nighttime. You could be meeting them somewhere where music is being played or being performed. There could be some kind of games. I'm thinking of like a pool table, or there could literally be like, it could literally be a casino or something like that. But maybe there is some element of recreation. So it doesn't seem like a professional setting. It seems like an intimate recreational setting. And for some reason, it's coming through as like a box or a square. I don't think this is for everyone, but it could be in a basement. Interesting. So we are gonna get into, I lied, we are gonna get into your first impressions of each other. So we'll start with your first impression of them. I'm getting really like specific visuals for this group. There may be a sign or synchronicity that is shown to you on the day you meet them through like a painting on the wall, or a photo that is hanging on the wall, or some artwork. I'm hearing artwork in the hallway, or like a poster in the hallway. I don't know, something hanging on the wall. Maybe there's an image or a number on it that really jumps out at you. Or the name of the establishment, I want to say, could be a sign or synchronicity for you. So you see how energetically that card came out, and this is your first impression of them. So I do believe you are going to be hit with intense emotion. It's like this intense soul recognition when you meet this person. We have the Four of Cups. This person is completely tuned out from what is around them. This Four of Cups looks like there's all these cups around them, but their eyes are closed and they're only focusing on what is within. I really feel like when you meet this person, it's almost like everything around you stops existing. And it sounds cheesy when I say that, but I do think you are just going to be so consumed in the moment that you are sharing with them. You forget about the time passing, forget about what is around you. And this is Moon in Cancer. So this is like a deeply spiritual experience and a deeply emotional experience. There's also something about walls coming down. So you may feel completely exposed in front of them. As in, okay, I'm going through this intense emotion and I'm sure you can totally tell. And you'll probably be wondering if they feel the same way too. But I think you get a sense from them, their energy feels very calm and serene. You feel like they are an old soul. You feel like they are a familiar soul. There's something. They could have like blue eyes or gray eyes, or they have a blue color in their aura, or there could even be blue lighting when you meet them. Your first impression of them is that they are a serene person, that they're someone who can keep their cool, like they're cool and calm, collected. How will you feel about them over time? We have two cards coming out. We have the Two of Swords and the Six of Swords. you are not going to be sure what to do about this connection. What do I want to do, or what should I do? Should I pursue this person or not? Should I be with this person or not? This may be a connection that confuses you for a while, and I want to be clear with this. I don't think it's that your person confuses you. It's like, what the fuck is the universe doing? That's the vibe that I'm getting, because it's like the timing and the way this person came into your life. First of all, I think it feels strange to you. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm hearing. And then maybe there's something about the circumstances of your lives that you're like, are we supposed to be together or not? Do I move forward with this or not? This feels like a confusion with the universe's plan, more so than it feels like confusion towards your person or like the way your person is. It's like, why are things unfolding this way, and what am I supposed to do? There may be a period before your union with this person where you are, and I feel really like emotional when I talk about this, and maybe it's confusion, maybe it's frustration, but it's like, I don't know, am I supposed to take action? Am I supposed to make a move? Am I supposed to do something to make this happen? Or am I supposed to surrender? Am I supposed to just be patient and like wait for the universe's timing? I don't know. We do have the Six of Swords, which came out with this. So this is moving forward and moving on from a turbulent situation. So at the end of the day, I think it really is about making up your mind. It's really about making up your mind of what you want to happen and aligning your energy with that. This person, I feel really emotional. Oh my gosh. This person is incredibly patient, and you are always going to be in their heart because you always have been in their heart. It's very strange. Like, you met at this point in the timeline, but you were always in their heart before that. And maybe you feel the same way too. Like, your person has always been in your heart even before you met, and you will always be in their heart after. So they're not going anywhere, and they're not changing their mind. And as time goes by, you will see their patience and their loyalty and their commitment. And they will go through confusion with the universe as well. And again, they're not confused about you. They are confused about the way the universe is working and the way this story is being weaved together. Like, why is this happening? Why am I experiencing these things? Why am I feeling these things? I feel like the universe is just taking me along for a ride. And there's a period where both of you are just riding the waves and waiting to see what the universe is cooking. But it's not going to be this way forever. Things will start to progress smoothly, and clarity will come. It will all make sense in the end, I'm hearing. And you will see over time truly how this person has such a sweet heart. This person has such a gentle heart. Their energy literally feels warm and fuzzy. It's not like you give me a warm and fuzzy feeling. You are the warmth. You are the warmth. You are the fuzziness. They are such a sweet person, and I feel like once they develop feelings, they don't change their mind. They don't go away. Something that just came through, and maybe this is just for a few of you, is that they've maybe never been the one to end a relationship. Like, once they're with you, they're committed to you, unless like you break up with them or you break the trust of the relationship or something, but they're not the one to walk away. And I feel like that goes back to their energy of endurance. Like, once they become passionate about something, they want to see it through to the end, or someone. So they could be like this with friendships as well. They could have strong Cancer energy. I'm picking up Cancer, Taurus, Scorpio. I feel like Leo's coming through. Fixed signs in general, so Aquarius could be significant as well. I know I'm naming a lot of stuff, but I feel like this person is incredibly loyal, and they wouldn't give up on something or someone unless they know for a fact that they've literally tried everything, that they've tried to work it out in every way possible. And if ever there's disagreements or conflicts between the two of you, it's like they're committed to working it out. They're always willing to have a conversation. They're not the type of person who shuts down or runs away when they are challenged or when they are hurt. In fact, they'll probably lean into you more when they are hurting. Like, I'm upset with you, let's talk about this. Not like, I'm upset with you, I'm running away. In those times is when they want you to lean into each other even more. They want to increase communication rather than cutting it off. I think they do believe in love as like a miracle that happens to you and you're lucky to receive it, but also they believe in love as something that you choose even when it's difficult, and something that you commit to. It's like, aw, yes, I believe that love is a miracle, and because it's a miracle, you should treat it with respect, and you should show the universe that you will do everything in your power to cherish it and hold on to it. So this is someone who's really not going to give up on you, even if they're confused as fuck with the universe's plan and the events that are unfolding. They're gonna keep riding the waves, and they always have hope for your future. And yeah, this is a very, very gentle soul. I feel like they have quite a calm temper. Even if they were upset or frustrated, I feel like they remain calm. And something else that's coming through is that they could be a deep sleeper, or like sleep for a long time. I don't know why that's relevant here, but I felt called to mention that. I think that physical touch is big for them. They may just like to be touching you. Like, even if you were just watching TV or something, they'll want to have some part of them touching some part of you. They just like to feel close to you. They're a very laid back person. They don't get bored easily because they have such a vivid imagination. Like, so even if they were sitting in a waiting room for an hour, they could just like daydream or think about stuff and they'll keep themselves entertained. Something that's coming through is that they're very happy to just do the same thing over and over again. Like, they could eat, if they have a favorite meal, they're like, I could eat this every day. I feel like you're their favorite meal, so just saying. I'm sorry, it came through, I had to say it. Let's look at their first impression of you. Yeah, they could watch their favorite movie over and over again. There's something about them watching, maybe they watch a performance over and over again. Like their favorite artist at this particular tour, and they just like watch that over and over again. I have some friends who, well, it's more like one particular friend, but when we get together, we will talk about the same old tea and the same old memes and the same old jokes over and over again, and it never gets old. And I kind of feel that vibe with your person. Again, there's something about their arms, because like, look at all these bare arms. Maybe they just have nice arm muscles, or there's something long, graceful about their limbs. They could have long legs too. And something else is coming through, that they're not very flexible. So if they stretch even a little bit, it could hurt. I mean, that's something that can be worked on, but that's coming through for some reason. And yeah, they have some interesting accessories. They could be kind of chunky or bigger, you know, like this as opposed to this. Well, you know what chunky means. And I'm seeing silver too, so maybe silver is their color. Yeah, the colors gray and blue are coming through quite a bit. Something about like collarbone too. V-necks, because I guess like V-necks show your collarbone, or kind of like a lower neckline. Cardigans are coming through too. Like I'm just picturing, I'm getting really vivid like visuals for this group. So I wonder if my group number 4s are clairvoyant. I'm kind of seeing like a oversized or big sweater or cardigan and like chunky accessories and slim leg pants. This is so specific. I feel like they're fashionable. They may not keep up with fashion trends per se, but the pieces that they select are just naturally fashionable. Ooh, but comfort is the priority. Their first impression of you is the Magician. So they're feeling some magic with you as well when they meet you. I think their first impression of you is that you are very charming, and in some way they feel like you have, dominant is the word that's coming to my mind, but I don't necessarily know if that's the best word, like a dominant energy. They might feel a little bit shy in your presence, not because you're intimidating, but just because you shine so brightly and you have so much magic and you have so much light in you that they just feel a little bit shy. You are definitely someone they want to impress. I think that their first impression of you is that you're intelligent. They could admire the way you articulate yourself, like you have a way with words. You have a good vocabulary that's coming through. They could be impressed by your language skills. Okay, that's for those of you who are not speaking your first language, probably. They could be impressed at your command of a language, or just impressed at how well you communicate, how well you articulate your points. And you have some kind of charm or cleverness, or could be wit or humor about you as well. So they're appreciating your mind. They're appreciating your intellect for sure. They see you as someone who is very capable. If there's anything you want to achieve, they don't doubt for a second that you could do it. How will they feel about you over time? I do get the sense that there will be a long period. Okay, well, I already said long. There will be a period where they want to get to know more about you, but for some reason they feel like they can't, it's like, I'm dying to get to know you more. So there's a period where you're both craving more closeness, but feel that you cannot get closer to each other. And this is very likely because of some kind of external circumstances, because if the mutual desire is there and there is nothing in your way, then it would happen. And as I was thinking that, the Nine of Swords came out. I feel, and I'm feeling emotional again, because they know that they will never forget you. There's a crow cawing outside as I'm saying this. They know that they will never forget you. And I think sometimes they worry that you would forget about them. But then again, like, there's also this feeling of, there's no way that I'm feeling all of this on my own. You know, and I wonder if you feel the same way too. If you have such an intense emotion for this person and feel something magic from the first time you met, you're like, it can't be just me who feels this way. And I think they're having those thoughts as well. I think they will frequently dream about you, or they do already, for those of you who know who this person is. There's a strong Gemini energy here. Both of these cards are associated with Gemini. So I think they really do admire your intelligence and your charm and the way you communicate and your creativity as well, the way you express yourself. I think you're both very creative, because we have this throat chakra card here. And I think it would be beautiful if you create together. That may be part of your future together. And we're going to get into that. We have awakening. You totally triggered a spiritual awakening in this person. Wow. This is a powerful connection. We have the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So you are going to build a really beautiful friendship with this person. I want to keep that here. I feel like there's the initial meeting between the two of you, and then there's a period of heaviness and confusion, and then the energy gets lighter. For both of you, your final cards are lighthearted energies. So it's like initial meeting, period of confusion and heaviness, reunion, and then from then on, things are lighthearted and carefree. You deserve to see the playful side of this person, I'm hearing. You've maybe not really seen it, the full extent of it. The playful side and the carefree side and the fun side. I could even say childlike. There's a bit of a more frolicking side to them, whatever that means. Sure. You deserve to be with this person in a lighthearted energy. You deserve to see that. Over time, they will consider you one of their best friends, or the best friend that they have. And they'll feel that it was worth it to go through the confusing time so that you can have the joy you were meant to have together. And I feel like this journey really does make them believe in miracles. And if they had any doubts in their mind about the spiritual journey, this connection blows them all away. Let's see what you will do together in your relationship. We have the Page of Cups. Yes, more lighthearted energy. Idealism, dreamer, sensitivity, naivety, innocence, inner child, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibilities, head in the clouds. I feel like any heavy energy present in this connection, it's like before you really come together and before you really get close. But once you're together, it feels like very smooth sailing. So this is someone who, like, in terms of just your compatibility, external circumstances aside, your compatibility as humans is like very, very, very harmonious. You understand each other on a deep intuitive level. And when you're together, the energy becomes more lighthearted and fun. And life itself feels like play. I think you bring out a very creative and experimentative side with each other, and you lift a lot of pressures off of each other. When you are in each other's presence, you influence each other such that you do not put pressure on yourself, and you do not put pressure on the way your life unfolds, and you see it as a journey, and you see it as a chance to explore. Rather than like, I need to know what's gonna happen. You're like, let's see what happens if I try XYZ. And it's like no pressure, no expectations. We are exploring. We are humble students of life and we are exploring. And if things don't work out as we thought, no worries. There is no judgment. There is no pressure. It's really, really nice. So you encourage this kind of beginner's mind in each other. You encourage this kind of creativity in each other. You also encourage each other to kind of push the boundaries of your style and the way you express yourself. So once you get into a relationship with your person, you might start dressing a little bit differently. Or if you're a creative person, you might sort of branch out into different modalities, into different mediums, into different genres, just kind of coming out of all of your boxes and being like, I think I want to try this. I think I want to just do a 180 and like switch this up. You give each other this safe place to explore yourself. And you give each other this safe place to change. You know, sometimes we feel afraid to change because the people around us will be like, I thought you were like this. What happened to this other version of you that I knew and that I was more comfortable with? You've changed. I miss the old you. What do you mean you're doing this? I thought you were this way. And just like, so a lot of the time our change doesn't feel supported, or people will think we're being fickle, or people will think we're being fake. And I think you recognize in each other, like, we have many facets, we have many faces. And it's a blessing in this life that we have the time to explore all of them. I think you really embrace change in each other and root for change in each other because you see change as growth and evolution. Ooh, beautiful. You could enjoy, with the Three of Cups and the Page of Cups, you could enjoy drinking together. If you don't drink, ignore that message, obviously. But you could also, for example, just enjoy the ambiance of like going to a nice bar and drinking like mocktails or something. But I don't know, because usually on the Three of Cups, we see friends toasting, and then the Page of Cups was holding up a cup. So it did make me think of that. And if you change something about yourself, they will notice it. Like if you are doing your makeup a little bit differently, or if you curled your hair a bit looser than usual, or if you, I don't know, use a different color blush. Just little, like those subtle changes, they will notice it and be like, I like it. My phone just went off. What? Someone calling me? I don't know who that is. I'm gonna ignore it. What will you achieve together? A lot, apparently. Oh, it's only 3. We can look at those. If it was too many, I might not look at all of them, but you're achieving a lot together, group number 4. We have the Queen of Wands, confidence, independence, social butterfly, creative. You're definitely like, this is totally giving creative collaborator vibes. Self-assured, passionate, determination, charismatic, vivacious, optimistic. We have the World. Sheesh. Completion, integration, accomplishment, world travel, bigger picture, evolution, fulfillment, harmony, and sense of belonging. And then we have the 8 of Swords, self-imposed prison of thoughts, limiting and negative thoughts, victim mentality, trapped, helpless, powerlessness, victim. Okay, group number 4. I have to tell you something important. Yes, there are things that you will accomplish in the future. But one thing that is very significant about this relationship is that it makes you proud of what you have already accomplished. Because look at this. This is someone who is clearly extremely impressive, extremely talented, extremely capable, extremely accomplished, and yet they doubt themselves. And I think this is a little bit of like real talk from Spirit. Spirit is saying, I see you looking forward to the next goal, looking forward to what you will achieve in the future. Why not be proud of yourself for what you have already accomplished? Why do you wait for a moment in the future to feel accomplished, to feel proud of yourself, to feel that you are impressive, to feel that you are talented, to feel that you are worthy, to feel that you have made an impact, to feel that you have inspired others? You're looking to the future for something that you already are. You're looking to hypothetical future accomplishments to validate you when you've done more than enough to prove that you are the version you so badly want to be. You are the version of you so badly want to be. So yes, there are things that you will accomplish with your person in the future, but I think one of the most important things is that you highlight to each other, hey, you're already accomplished as fuck. Like, you're already so amazing and so inspirational. And I'm so freaking proud of you. I think you really instill in each other a sense of completion. Like, I'm already whole and complete. I'm already amazing. And I don't need to stack up more and more and more future milestones to prove that. Chasing milestones no longer becomes the goal. I think you just want to be passionate about what you do, and the recognition will come. I think you're both, and I've said this like 8 million times, but you're both very creative. And when you blend your styles together, it makes something completely unique and beautiful and never before seen. I'm hearing someone saying like, everything has been done before, everything has been seen before. No. I know that feeling like, oh, what's the point of creating? It's all been done before. But there is something very unique about your two energies together that will gain recognition, possibly even worldwide recognition. The Queen of Wands in the World, like, come on, this is relationship goals. I think there's going to be a lot of people who, admire your partnership and your relationship and wish they had a relationship like yours, something I am happy to relate to you is that I don't actually see any jealous energy around you. So it's not like people see you happily in this relationship and they're jealous of it. They're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Like, I love that for group number 4. I want a relationship like that too. You know, it's like supportive. There's a lot of supportive energy around you and people aspiring to your relationship. Now, this may be because you just keep your relationship hidden or away from those who would look at it with the quote unquote evil eye, but I do not feel any of that energy around you. I think this relationship is super protected because both of you do an excellent job at protecting yourselves. How will you grow together? The Ace of Wands. You will grow creatively. Oh my gosh. You will grow creatively. For those of you, I mean, if you don't resonate with being creative, you probably haven't even watched the reading up to this point. You probably clicked off ages ago. But you will grow as a creative. You will grow to trust your vision. You will learn to see the magic in the world around you. I often feel with the Ace of Wands, this renewal of passion and renewal of like zest for life and truly feeling that life is beautiful and everything around you is beautiful. The people, the nature, the buildings, the objects, all of it, the air, the water, the joys, the frustrations, the blessings, the challenges. It's all gonna feel beautiful. And it all feels even more beautiful when you are with this person. And I also think that you, together, you strengthen your connections to your own higher selves. So like, oh, the camera timer went to like 10101 as I said that, 10101. When you're around them, they strengthen your connection to your higher self. And and you strengthen their connection to their higher self. And when you're together, I think you channel very effortlessly. And I do think that the things you create are channeled from the divine. I'm hearing something like you piggyback off of each other's ideas in a very beautiful and seamless way. If you're creating something and you get stuck, you can show it to them and they're like, oh, I see the vision. What, you don't see it? What about a little bit of this, a little bit of that? And like, oh my gosh, I see the vision now. I can finish my project. Thank you. Like you could help each other get unstuck with the little pieces of advice or the little tweaks that you propose to each other. I am tasting right now. What is that? It tastes like when you eat rice bowls. And there's like, okay, so I live in Japan for context, and there's like a salty sauce on the rice. There's like a lot of dishes that have like a bowl of rice with stuff on top, and there's like, I don't know what I'm saying. I just tasted food. And it's very simple. Like often you can go out and eat these rice bowls for cheap, and even the cheap places are very good. That's one thing about Japan. The cheap food is good quality. There's something about, okay, it's like you're finishing a project late and so most of the stores are closed. So you go to like the only place that is open, and it's like cheap, but it's comfort food. That is like really specific. And it might not be literally the rice bowl that I'm imagining. That probably just came to me because I make that association with like quick, affordable comfort food. So yeah, you might have like a lot of late nights when you're like working together, creating together, and then you know, like Uber Eats something, or you just like quickly go out to grab something. Oh, and I heard, and then back to work. Okay. It's giving night owls. It's giving we're in the flow, but we have to fuel ourselves. Okay. So that's funny because I mentioned at the start of this reading that I FaceTimed with ASO for like 6 hours. So when we got off the call, for her, it was like 2 a.m. And then she said she ordered a calzone. It's like giving that vibe. Like, let's just order a little snacky snack. All right. The last thing we're gonna look at is a message of love and support and encouragement from them. Your person, they're so down to earth. They're so laid back. They smell very good. That's also coming through, and that will be very comforting for you. This is maybe kind of a funny example, but you know, Yumi, my dog, definitely has a smell. And so when I walk into my house, I smell her and I immediately feel calm and I immediately feel happy. And there's something like that, maybe just like the second they put their arms around you and you're like, ah, yes, my person. It's like a scent, maybe it's like a perfume that they wear or their detergent or their shampoo, I don't know. And it's just like, because smell, the sense of smell is very powerful, you know, so it will immediately just make you feel safe and make you feel calm, because that's how they make you feel. There's also something about like running fingers through your hair, or maybe they're running their fingers through your hair, or you're running your fingers through their hair, or both. Okay. What is the message of love and support and encouragement from your person? Woo! Okay. We have the Nine of Swords. That's funny because we already got this card, and also when I was shuffling, I don't know if the deck was in the frame, but the deck kind of got a bit chaotic, like the cards were going out in all different directions. I know it's hard right now. That's why I'm hearing. I think you're maybe in the same boat of like, maybe worried that things won't work out, worried that you won't find each other, like that you won't meet each other, or worried that you won't come together. There may be worries that the other doesn't feel the same way. Like, I feel this deep soul connection, but what if you don't? What if it's all in my head? What if there's nothing here? Like, what if this doesn't lead to anything? What if you move on? What if you forget? Like, I just feel like there's worries. I feel someone's head jumbled with worries. And I think their message to you is like, I know things are hard right now, and I feel it too. And I wish that I could tell you that everything's gonna be okay, but I wish that you could tell me that. Like, maybe they need your comfort right now, and they need your loving and supportive energy right now. One thing that I can say is, as people who have a soul bond, you can definitely influence each other's emotions and influence each other's energy. And, you know, just sending your person a little bit of loving energy can go a long way. Sending them a little bit of hope and optimistic energy can go a long way. And it can create a positive loop. where they will feel more hopeful and they'll send that energy back to you. I feel like even if you're at a physical distance from each other, you do amplify each other's energy and you do pick up on each other's energy. I think their message to you is just that, know that you're not alone in this. Like, assuming that you're not together yet, they feel your absence too, and they miss you too, and they sometimes feel uneasy about the future too. It's not just you who is going through this, but there's no moving on. Like, there's no forgetting about you. Like, I'm here, and if it's gonna be hard for another month or another year or another whatever, hopefully sooner rather than later, but I'm here. Like, I'm gonna ride the waves. We're in this together. So when it's difficult, we're in the difficulty together. And when it's easy and joyful, we're in the ease and joy together. So just know that whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're going through, it's happening to both of us. It's never you versus me. We are going through this journey together, and our experiences are probably more similar than you think. Probably mirror each other more than you think. There's this kind of energy on both of your ends where it's like, you think it's only you that feels this way. You think it's only you that's having these experiences or that's seeing these signs and synchronicities. It's only you who's having these dreams. It's only you who envisions this future. But it almost feels like a law. It's weird to say it like that. A law of your connection, like a law of physics, that whatever is happening for you is happening for them too. And I'm sure that will be revealed to you in the future, just how similar your journeys were. But holy crap, group number 4. I think this may be the longest reading I've done, at least on YouTube. Sometimes the Patreon readings get very long, but it's 1:11:11 right now, 1:11:11, which means I've been going for an hour and 11 minutes. Holy crap. But anyway, if you are not sick of the sound of my voice yet, we are gonna take it over to the extended, and we are gonna see what your person loves the most about you. We are going to see, it's been a while since I did the extended. It's been a whole 24 hours. So I actually read this list at the start of your reading, so I have no excuse, but anyway, I'm reading from the list now. What they love most about you: your physical and emotional compatibility with the possibility of 18+ messages. Why did your soul choose them in this lifetime? Why did their soul choose you in this lifetime? How close are you to manifesting this relationship? What changes, if anything, need to be made so that you can manifest it? And what time frames, signs, and synchronicities are significant to this connection? So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, that will be linked down below. I will have both Patreon and Vimeo links down below, and I will meet you wherever you want to meet me. If you want to leave the reading here, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch the extendeds. You can watch full-length exclusive pick-a-card readings. You can watch both. So I'll have that link down below. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.